Because that's exactly what it is, GC with it. You would be good at single player Carl. Or is the pink mic thing, not Carl. Carl's a good dude. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. The most raped of all, you will understand. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Hello. You found a lolcow in the digital wilds. Who is it? Also, don't mind me. I'm cutting the thing that I was supposed to cut in Audacity live because when else am I going to be able to find time to do it? Hardest part about my job is editing. I hate editing. So I gotta find time to do it when I can. Oh, really? Ryan Mullins. What did he go viral for this time? Just randomly showed up in a live stream chat? What was he talking about? What was the chat about? On these hoes. Test. This woman and you see pedophilia? Okay. It's always weird when it's recording the way that it does. Hello, Brother Wolf. Alright, let's take some audio memes. My nigga, you look at a grown-ass woman and you see pedophilia? The fuck is wrong with you? There is no backing track. It will be silent. Sit here in your shame. The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong? Noise removal, noise reduction, noise profile, and remove that sound. The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? And then normalize. The fuck is wrong with you? There is no backing track. It will be silent. Sit here in your shame. The fuck is wrong with you? There is no backing track. It will be silent. Sit here in your shame. There is no backing track. It will be silent. Sit here in your shame. There is no backing track. It will be silent. Sit here in your shame. My nigga, you look at a grown-ass woman and you see pedophilia? The fuck is wrong with you? Really? The 2024 NFL season? Just commenting randomly in the chat? And he said, you said he has a lot of nerve being here. Hey all, hope you're having a better day than I am. Why aren't you having a good day, just a girl? Is it because you're just a girl? Have you had it up to here? That's too easy. I also feel ashamed of myself for that dad joke. My nigga, you look at a grown-ass woman and you see pedophilia? The fuck is wrong with you? Perfect. My nigga, you look at a grown-ass woman and you see pedophilia? The fuck is wrong with you? Okay, that one's you look at a woman. And this one. There is no backing track. It will be silent. Sit here in your shame. And it one a bit closer. Your college messed up your financial aid, and now you might not be able to attend this semester. That's unfair. I'm sorry that's happening to you. You know what you should do? You should do some penis about it. Have you done some penis about it? Maybe some vajayjay. Maybe some weed. I'm only half joking. I've been in that situation maybe once, twice in my life, and I didn't like it. I could feel myself sweat whenever I had to go to the FAFSA office. And that one is no backing track. You know? Okay, one down. And then this one. Carl is friend, not. Carl is friend. Sure, but I'm a friend. Well, we all. This is going double. Know that I'm a creature. It's a good thing, dude. You would be good at single. Okay. Start from the top and just rip from there. Because that's exactly what it is, GC Woodhead. You would be good at single player Carl. What is the pink mic thing? Not Carl. Carl's a good thing, dude. Well, we all know that I'm a creature. But I'm a friend. Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
I'm something shaped.
You shaped like something.
This one requires a little bit of work. If they haven't settled this by Monday, you're gonna go to the office Tuesday morning and explain to them that if they don't have it sorted out by the end of the week, Wednesday, that you'll have to drop out. Is there anything else that you could possibly be able to do? I hope there's something you can do about it. It was just weird seeing this dude that believes the backside the kids were eating for Thanksgiving and Christmas in lieu of turkey just show up in the live chat of somewhere I never expected him to be tangentially involved. Do you know what the game was about? Or what particular part of NFL that it was about? Like, did he show up in support of his favorite football team or some shit? I would imagine it would have been something like that. Not for less than $366 a month. That's a lot of money. Because that's exactly what it is, GC Woodhead. You would be good at single player Carl. You would be good at single player Carl. You would be good at single player Carl. This is probably anal noise. You would be good at single player Carl. 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 For anybody who's wondering, yes, there will be reaction content. I'm just working on this because this is going directly into the alerts. Because that's exactly what it is, GC Woodhead. You would be good at single player Carl. What is the pink mic thing? Not. What is the pink mic thing? Not Carl. Carl's a good dude. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. Carl is friend. Well, we all know that I'm a creature. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. Well, we all know that I'm a creature. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. Well, we all know that I'm a... I can hear the news coverage of the fucking bomber from the other room. That's crazy. We literally and logistically know more about this fucking Cybertruck bomber than we will ever learn about Stephen Paddock, the 2017 Las Vegas strip shooter. It's crazy. Only on Twitter. Who are we reacting to this time? Tell me it's not Adam McIntyre again. No. We will be rounding out and finishing the back end of the New Year's Eve thread and then a couple of new things. Thankfully, we've been able to get through the first half of it, so most of the ones that are left there is now the rest of the bangers that are in that folder inside the server. Really, the Broncos. Is it possible that he likes them because they're horse-shaped? It's entirely manifestably possible. Just asking about a team while the guests in the live stream talked about their teams sucking majorly. Curious. Well, we all know that I'm a creature. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. What is the pink mic thing? Not Carl. Carl's a good thing, dude. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. Carl is friend. No, not just on the stream today. I'm doing this because I'm going to immediately put it inside of the thing, and then I'm going to fuck around with it until we are able to move it forward. I'm chatting with the chat while I'm doing so. Also, you missed out on a time last night. You probably saw some of the feedback because you were reading on the timeline, so you know everything about what I'm going to say. In which case, shh, don't spoil it for everybody else. Boys and girls, there's this thing, as a part of this job that I do, known as tard wrangling. And there's an advanced form of it on Twitter known as tard babysitting. It's when somebody who thinks that they're smart, who suffers from Dunning-Kruger syndrome, actively demonstrates that they are stupid by trying to desperately outplay multiple people who are noticing how they are stupid. And I made someone so angry they crashed out in real time because they couldn't handle being mocked to their face and the person not caring. To the point that it became so personal for them that somehow another person came out of the woodwork to try and defend them by bringing up irrelevant shit that has nothing to do with the topic because they knew me from a time period that they thought that I was embarrassed about. Real shit. And it all came down specifically to them wanting to be a bigot because how dare Japan have a high trust society? I'm not even fucking joking. That's what started the conversation. It went from Japan has a high society, yeah, why, to being told the exact answer by Panda, all the way down to the fact that when we started directly digging in his ass, pause, that this man became upset about nationalities and origin and regions. He kept trying to insult other people by saying that they were something that they weren't. He kept calling Panda white. He kept trying to call me white before I made it very clear that I'm not. Then, amongst the many people that did so, proving that not only am I not white, at least not in the conventional sense, that I'm not a Redditor, I don't enjoy and I don't involve myself in self-masturbatory displays of retardation. At least, not for the purposes of stuffing my own ego, but bringing down somebody else's. Showed my entire history of Reddit posts to the edge of that, so they could no longer use that against me specifically, because when I say this guy laser focused in on me when he was getting upset, I mean he was laser focused on me. Nobody else existed to this man. To the edge and writ that basically he became more bigoted the more he was unable to call other people Nazis. Then he excused white genocide, he excused black genocide. He claimed that while they have a high trust society, it's because Japan is full of Nazis. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? A lot of insults about my nationality. As I offered more examples of why he was annoyed, he tried to focus it in on other things. So just general hatred of Europe, general hatred of Britain, excusing the rape, excusing the rape of Britain children, because the nationalities of the people who are living there are clearly the reason why that is. Because it was brought up, if there's ever a place in the world that has crime happen in such a way that would lead to them having something like a women's only guard. Oh, that was another thing. He excused the deaths of shit happening in New York City by claiming that America would never allow something to happen in such a way as it would happen in Japan to lead them to have the things that they have, which directly led to bringing up not only the woman who was immolated on the train, but also the guy who was pushed off the platform by a white guy. Justify both of those. Just basically a whole-ass terrorist screaming into the void. We've all ignored him at this point now. Like, we've got as much tar coming out of him as we possibly could get. But, boy, it was unreal looking at a man get that fucking upset. Because the more people started to dig into him, and the more people started to mock him for how stupid he was, the more he kept trying to latch on to certain details. And the thing that was obvious to me is that he kept trying to latch onto race. Because really, he was doing anything he could to get out of the fact that he was getting mocked antagonistically by a group of people who were professional racists. See, if you're gonna be a bigot, you better be a professional. That's a clip in and of itself, but I'm not gonna record that right now. I got too much in front of me to deal with it to begin with. But the more information that was offered of other people, because Panda, everybody knows what Panda's takes are. We all know he's gay. We all know that he's a sperm donor. We all know that he's had his sperm selected and he has plenty of fucking kids out there in the wild. We know what kind of man that he's turned on by and the kind that he wants to tongue and be tongued by. Normal shit, right? This individual relatively knew nothing. So, when I just provided I love that that's an emote that actually bounces around with a filter. So when it was provided to him, information, not everything, wasn't fucking A-logging upon myself, but just necessary information for genetic research purposes. The slurs became ultra-targeted to the point that he then got struck for them. And then from there, it was just basically every time that he was losing a discussion, he would jump from one discussion to another. So there's like 100 fucking sub-threads inside of the main child thread. He would lose over here on this thread, so he'd jump to this thread. Then he'd lose in this thread, and he'd jump to this thread. And then he'd lose in this thread, and then jump to this thread. And then start doing it multiple times. So it'd start like this, and then it'd go like this, and then it'd go like this, and then it'd go like this. And just every single time, he was just getting owned. He couldn't run away. He couldn't speak. He couldn't talk. Every single insult was either you're a retard, you're an idiot, you're an insert extremely heavy expletive here, or lol, you're a Redditor. Once I started taking away these insults from me specifically, it was just pure hate. It was fascinating. Like, I'm one to not even have a soundboard on hand, but every single fucking time this user spoke, it was very clear the only thing on his mind that was playing was this sound.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
It was delicious. Every single bit of it was fucking delicious. I cannot show you a single fucking thing. I can't show you a single fucking thing from these interactions, okay? But I will give you the link to go find it. Now, if you go to my Twitter, I have retweeted most of the ones that are necessary for you to see to get context on. Because one of the ones that, again, I cannot put it on the screen, comes from here. It shows the comment of his. Yes, it is indeed the Copacabana. This post here shows what he said in its totality that got his post visibly restricted. And then, of course, my natural reaction to it. But the general problem I will break down from my retweet that pretty much explains what the issue is. Right? Because it was very obvious over time what this individual was doing. And I just decided to take the fun away from him and just make it easy for everybody to understand exactly what was happening. Of this, I can show you. 1 second. My internet seems to be dropping. Up here. And right about here. Because it would be right at this point in the thread in which all the energy changes. Right? I hit him up with the information because pretty much he thinks that black people can only exist inside of the United States of America. He tries to say some smug shit. I explain that I'm not the thing that he's claiming that I am. He gets further upset because another thing this guy was doing, he was doing the whole, lol, you had to put more effort into your reaction than I did. Lol, you're upset, lol. And it was very clear to me that he was becoming more agitated because as this continued going on, he stopped using emojis. He was using emojis as a way to try and get something over on people and act distant and aloof, and what I call sans speak, which is, of course, full lowercase caps, no punctuation, and horrible fucking spelling. I then call out the fact that he keeps jumping across the threads in order to get a win in one. He demands I explain how I know that he's upset, and then the slur. Panda himself calls it out. I continue mocking him about it because I'm the one who's responsible for bringing him there. And his reaction is, in this case, this one I can't show, to keep screaming that Reddit gold, Redditor, Redditor, Redditor. Multiple people who are noticing this happening, laughing at him, pointing out that I'm not a Redditor because I only use the website for things that are relevant. I have no interest in behaving in the Redditor style. I break down that I suspect that he is in fact a Redditor, and he continues to spurt about this, which then picks up right about around here. said this bird displaying neckbeard tendencies to the point of risking their ability to bait people by being racist, wrong, and loud. We all know that you're well out of steam, and yeah, it's personal for you because you're locking in on just me now. I think I can show this one. You've been locked in on me since you joined the thread because I've been playing back. It means it's personal for me now? It's so personal for you. You delve into your family history, posted your wife, scroll through your old Reddit account. All sounds personal to you. No, I'm literally paying Path of Exile 2 and mocking you. Everyone's locked in on you from your perspective. You're literally more aggravated since this moment where the energy clearly changed to bag that shadow monkey who made me upset. Did you forget that we can see every response you're making across the 97 threads you keep trying to jump in and surface across in order to get one in? I can see the difference in tone. Everyone can. Every single time you try to insult me, I address that you're wrong and off base. So literally, the interaction has just been this about 7 times. I refuse to do a voice for this guy. Niggas mad! Hey, niggas taking notes on my thread! Mow! He's reading what I said and backing up their claims that I'm lying and stupid. Moai. Damn, look at that! It didn't dismiss my point! Crazy! No, you're literally making multiple threads to try and veer off the topic more off course when you've admitted back on this interaction that you're just an attention junkie also ran. And just like then, we're all telling you, no, that's not how that works. The post in question being, you're repeatedly switching tabs/monitors to lock in on me, so yes you are. I'm a focus while you're playing mid, and no, not everyone is some people. Some people leave one off so a few reply. You consistently take notes of my replies and keep it going. I don't have 2 monitors either. The time in which I reply is in the time it takes for me to settle a hand in Balatro. See, everyone here but you can do more than 2 things at once, including hold conversations. You have to be reminded about it across 70 plus threads. And this is how I know that it's personal for you. Because you're not talking like this with anyone else. Because not even Panda got you to squeal like this. The emojis are gone again. Mo! So, from this data, we can tell that you think attention plus intent means they're mad when literally nobody takes you seriously. But you gave... I said I was going to do a voice. You said you gave there's no details about yourself. So is Panda over time on Twitter. You're just upset that you're getting mocked by a streamer. And then, this I think I can show. When no one takes you seriously. You and the sausage buddies, mainly you, have been replying this whole time, and you take the most serious out of everyone, including me. If anything, everyone else is really let combos in, but you kept it going. Please, what makes you think that we believe we've taken the lolcow milking, that we're milking is serious? And once again, you can't just reply in one place. You're still actively trying to hop across multiple to try and talk shit specifically to me and everyone else. And here's another one that had nothing to do with the conversation either. Inside the screen cap. And to save you time, the reason why you're spurging isn't bait because you forgot what the point of bait in a trap is. This one's going to be probably hard to read on the screen, but I'll demonstrate it. Bait can only work if people see it. Again, your 75 comments, it just kept expanding over time as it kept happening. I just noticed that it did. And I wasn't going to do multiple screen caps for multiple examples of him trying to fucking get everyone's attention, looking for someone to give him attention. Again, you're 75 comments down in a 57 threads because you have Adderall problems, losing your shit, and suing your account because the Uka mutt made you this mad. Because if there was any point in this thread, in this series of interactions with this individual that was clear for anybody watching him, he really, really, really wanted to scream it, guys. I'm not even joking how badly he wanted to scream it at the top of his lungs. And he couldn't even find inventive ways to get zingers. So when I kept finding new inventive ways to make fun of him, it was what set him off. And then, on this interaction, as he continued to mold about this, at the end of another series of threads that he kept making, hey, the emojis came back with the milk. So where's your partner? Do you not have one, along with the racial brain cells that make you become a national socialist when it comes to Japan's high-trust society, or what? I don't use the shit posting app so Redditors who I talk to as a gotcha moment. You're pushing Resigner homemade, flexing. You got a chubby gay man streamer as your partner. We've already established I'm not a Redditor. Please try again. I'm not doing this for attention. None of us are. This is for the love of the game, blood! You see, those 18 medals that we have aren't just for professional racism. It's an internet toddler wrangling and babysitting. Hey, you my boy, off. How long, pass it up. And then he kept molding on multiple thread replies. So, another, and another, and another, and another. And then when he would jump back to another thread, instead of giving a full breakdown, I started just giving a stock response, Cajun laughing, child thread number, insert number here. It got up to 101, and then, for context, because I knew I'd talk about this later, I threatened out what it would be. To anyone who doesn't get what's going on, we're literally only talking when the Spurg tries to talk shit at us. This thread's timeline can show that we go long lengths of time not typing at them because we're doing other things. When they Spurg in a thread, I mark it. And you can see here, 50 minutes, 22 minutes. This one was typed at the time of 8:15, and then 3 seconds later. So, I was not seeking every single example of this person fucking Spurging. He was trying to go across the timelines to try and talk to anyone he could win against, and hoping that nobody who was actively mogging him frequently, most of which being myself and Panda, but there were others there too, were keeping track of it. This user is literally obsessed with me personally, so with nothing to chew on, they are Spurging and any and everywhere they can because they specifically are upset at me for triggering them to the point that it's not bait for them anymore. Wait for this nigga. He is starving. And this screen cap here, this one I can show you, is basically the individual making it very clear, because this is just a screen cap directly from my notifications page. And when I put this on the screen, you can see as we look at it, this guy's just making back-to-back posts. This one on the bottom is one. This one on top of this is another one. This is a person interacting with him, and another one, and another one, and another one. And then people liking the post where he goes off the hinges. It doesn't happen very often. But boy, when you see somebody go 88.22 gigawatts to the keck, and they just start screaming at the top of their lungs, makes Twitter worth it. You just finished reading the thread. He needs to pick a side in a struggle. He goes from calling everybody Nazis to literally spewing Nazi propaganda. He goes at you for being white and then dogs on you for being black. Pick a struggle? Yes, horror! Yes! It seems we're lagging for a bit. Should be coming back soon. Come on, frame rates. Come on, frame rates. You can go higher than 1,000 gigabytes a second. There you go. But yeah. Guy was absolutely ass mad. It's very, very rare that I see ass madness like that, but I'm so happy I got to be a part of it. I'm just happy to be on the team, Captain. I was just happy to be on the team. Now let me finish up with this and we can get to our cringe. Oh no, he kept trying to call everybody else little bro for extra damage. Which is weird, because why is he calling other people little bro in a situation where he in fact is the little brother? Your ass was happily asleep? I mean, honestly. What was the purpose of engaging this much with this person? Humor. Humor. Literally so I could talk about it later with all of you and show you that this happened. For fun. And also, again, love of the game. I said it in the thread. When a person acts like they're pseudo-intellectual and that they're smarter than they are, it is hilarious and fun to demonstrate to this person that they are stupid. And there's various reasons why. So it's actually important that you ask that, Grand G. There are two paths in any kind of decision and any kind of discussion that you have with another person. Right? If a person comes up to you and tells you something that you know is factually wrong. The sky is blue. But not the sky is blue because it refracts light, because it's refracting the color that is being absorbed, and therefore it's not absorbing all these other colors other than this, therefore the sky is blue. They tell you the sky is blue because every single day Santa Jesus rises up and He paints this guy with his Sherman-Williams brush. The first thing that you'd think to do is to tell them, I'm sorry, did you recently hit your head? Are you feeling okay? Are you alright? And then, the other one, if they then demonstrate that it's being done fallaciously, is, oh, you think you're clever. Well, that's crazy, that's crazy, that's crazy. And then you start to pick at them for humor. Now, in the first intonation from which this started from an individual basically trying to find a way to be angry at Jews. That's where it started from, right? The guy was being pseudo-intellectual. Scrolling all the way back up to the top, where all of this originates. The original first post by Panda was this. A person trying to be facetious, saying, quick question, why do trains have women-only cars in the high-trust society that is Japan? The reason why they have women-only cars is because they recognize that while having a high-trust society does not mean you do something that's pants-shittingly on head stupid as believing, we've solved all the problems with violence, now let's get rid of guns. Oh, crazy, those people who we have problems with picked up all our guns. Certainly they'll behave by the rules of our society because they believe and understand that this is literally a better way to live. And from here, his involvement in the thread began at this point. What part of a high-trusting society leads you to not being able to trust one another to the point of having separate trains? Quickly! This is the case of Dunning-Kruger. DK syndrome, as one can believe. The job of any person is to try to get that person to understand why what they're saying is wrong and help them get back onto their track. Because certainly you don't want a person to go through life believing some piece of information that's false, right? But then this person demonstrates that, oh no, he's just a bigot. He just hates people. He hates people from Japan. He hates people from South Africa. He thinks people from South Africa are fucking retarded and stupid, backwards and Neanderthal. He doesn't account for the fact that the reason why half of South Africa is living by first world standards with lots of racism, and then second and third world standards with even more racism, is because of first order, second order, and third order magnitude issues. So literally, a person who's living in the world with first world problems, trying to then tell the other people in the second and third world how they're supposed to solve their problems. It is literally the job of every person in society to take a person who suffers from DK syndrome and literally shit on their fucking head so that they start to learn to be a different person. It's for example, another way of asking, hey, that person who's a very clearly dedicated Hassan Piker fandom chatter, what is the point and purpose of explaining to them why the watermelon kerfuffle is something that they shouldn't lose their mind about? Because they have to do the research. Why should I teach a person who doesn't know how to do their job on the fry cook how to use the grill? Because I don't want them to burn my fucking food. If I can reduce, or if any of us can either reduce the amount of stupid people in the world by even one, we have succeeded. If we cannot be able to do that, then entertaining everybody else so that they can be able to learn as a part of the spectacle of entertainment can do so, and they can also increase their visibility. So that's the other side answer to that, right? Because on one hand, I don't need to reply to this person because I know that they're fucking stupid. But it's not just about replying to that person because they're stupid. It's also, where are they? There are a bunch of different updates and follows. It's also to increase my visibility and my reach. So on one hand, I'm having fun at somebody else's expense. And on the other hand, because other people are seeing, hey, this single player Carl guy is interesting and based, it then leads to them coming to me and growing my audience. So size, visibility, reach, engage, and again, the love of the game. The love of the game. You, Pharaoh, think that you don't come losers on the internet just to have fun, but I do it so I can expand my reach for the love of the game, Yugi.
You can't go about doing that, Kaiba! What about those kids?
Fuck those kids, Pharaoh. My SpongeBob's horrible, but
Patrick, you can't go around ducking kids on the internet like that.
Fuck those kids, SpongeBob. If they're dumb enough to sign up for Elon's Twitter, they're fast enough to catch these starfish hands. Because the direct result of me doing that is that every single time that I actually prove a point, have fun at somebody else's expense, and do what I do, I grow my audience, more or less. There's actually a person who has jumped into my server and has joined that server specifically because they came across my content on TikTok of me doing exactly this. One of the other things that has actually increased, and I know because I retweeted it to one of my mutuals who was asking what they should do as a solution for covering things, they specifically needed to know this piece of information because something that will help them make content and grow is to literally make fucking shorts. Literally cut things, make audio cues, make content, and do shit to do something, to produce content for my channel so that we can grow by means of impressions and exposure. It'll find the people it's supposed to find, but that's literally what I did it for. It's a useful piece of information. It's also a useful tactic because basically, comedian, it's nothing but training. That's all it is. Does that fully answer the question, Granji? I'm also out of alcohol. Or rather, I'm out of the wine that Star gave me that we were to drink on New Year's. We popped this open, and she hated it. It was a 2020 plush and jammy Californian Untamed and Unbound Merlot from Apothic Merlot. I don't know if that's an extremely good company. One of the members of Zulian's extended family gave it to her as a gift. We opened it, we tasted it, she fucking hated it. So, like the black hole my stomach exists as, she gave it to me for me to consume. And I literally drank almost all of it going through the backside of my VODs, looking through the things that I say on stream to find shit that I can then audio cut like I'm doing right now. Drive yourself nuts to the point you need help instead of helping anyone like by that approach so you were curious? Well, it's not going to help everybody, right? Because the goal that you want is that you change focus. So, like, you know that meme where it's like, your objective has changed, disregard all other objectives, and now rip and tear until it's done? Are you autistic? No, I'm anally retentive. So, like, when you want to try and teach a person something, you want to establish whether or not that person actually wants help or if they're being fucking stupid on purpose. This user in question was being obtuse on purpose. So we went from, hey, you are wrong. Did you realize that? Here's the details as to why. To, oh, so you're intentionally being facetious. Knuckle crack. And again, for me, I grew my audience again. I lost my first account because somebody hacked it. I have to rebuild my audience reach. That's all there is to it. Having fun is just part of the job.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
I'm something shaped.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
I'm something shaped. That works. I am, for reference, just thought I recognize some patterns. Anal retentivity and autism have similar patterns in the idea that we are dogged after a point. Me, I'm just making sure that the person has to admit that I'm right, or make them understand that with all the information provided to them, that they are being obtuse, and that I will make fun of them for being obtuse. The example that I always now use to describe this is, I'll ask you this question. If I go to you and I approach you in public and I tell you, hey, there's a $100 bill on the ground underneath your shoe. Lift up your shoe and pick up the $100 bill. What would you do, Grand G? Okay, this is the one that's already properly edited. I just need to increase the normalization. I selected your normalization.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
I'm something shaped. That's good. Well, you'd probably say, take it, but you'd probably say, take it and keep walking where you were walking. Right? Right. Somebody tells you, hey, here's the thing that you can obtain or achieve, and all you have to do is literally one or two things, which involves hearing what I'm saying and then doing the thing. Fine. Simple. Easy. Clear. For somebody who acts like they are a wise, concrete internet troll, most of us, especially those that are familiar with tard wrangling, we love and enjoy making a person have to admit how stupid they are. Because, of course, nobody likes somebody who acts smarter than they are. And you certainly do not like somebody who acts smarter than they are, especially if that is undeserved. Because this person was acting like a Dunning-Kruger idiot, it was my job to enact the rule of gift theory and apply to them pressure. And apply all the pressure and make fun of them and then document it. Because everyone's got their own techniques. Everybody needs to go and do the same thing that I do. Panda has his way of trolling somebody. I have my way of trolling somebody and agitating them. Horror has her way of trolling somebody and agitating them. The goal, of course, is that if a person is honest and forthcoming, we will pivot, right? Because bullying somebody who just doesn't understand something is one thing. If a person came to me with a question about Path of Exile, for example, it does me no benefit to them to troll them and be facetious. Because why would I gatekeep information from them? If a person asks me that question and then acts smug about it, I don't have much reason other than simply to be a good Samaritan in helping that person. Furthermore, on that same line of logic, an individual who acts like an asshole to everybody around them, despite the fact that they are cripplingly unaware of how inept and out of their depth they are. It's like realizing that you're a small fish in an even smaller pond that's about to be swallowed by a giant fish that lives at the bottom of that body of water, and realizing how truly out of your depth you are. Most people, they get to that point where they get frustrated and they go the fuck out of the conversation because they're too angry and upset. And for me, that goal was that guy crashing out like that. Because he thinks he knows what he's talking about, and all he really is a bigot. I don't want a bigot on Twitter. So rather than try to report him, which usually almost always does nothing unless it's in serious cases, it's much funnier to do what I did. Because the equivalent of what this person would do, if I was to tell them, hey, there's a $100 bill on your shoe, is they would go, no. And sometimes there's a bit of a humor that comes to doing it, performatively. It doesn't always really work or is warranted all the time, and sometimes is even more tryhard than the person in question, which is why it requires finesse. It's basically an element of comedy that's called crowd working. Learning to notice these things, becoming a prime noticer. It helps you become better at being witty. So I mostly use things and opportunities like that as humor practice, more or less. Not bothered by me much, nor do I really take anything anyone says to heart in random public engagements. It's generally easier to expect everyone is ignorant or with ill will until proven otherwise, because it seems to be the case most of the time anyways. I use the policy of trying to greet the world with open arms until the world gives me a reason to meet it with a balled fist. If you do right by me, and you don't tell no lies about me, I won't tell truths about you, basically. Because sincerity and nicety is the backbone and the cornerstone of polite society. There's lots of things that many of us literally don't say a lot of the times. Why is my internet dropping as frequently as it is? What the fuck? But many pillars of society are bore on the concept of, I could say something here, but I won't, because that's mean.
You shit like something.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's left from that. And now to put them into the filter. It is easier to be nice before I decide to not be so nice. I always dictate myself and my actions by Roadhouse rules. It's more convenient. Because if I try to be nice, and I give them the chance to be nice, and they are not nice, I no longer have a reason to concern myself with allowing someone to rule over me with nicety because I was not willing to be aggressive. When I gave them every opportunity to change the behavior, and they just kept doing the behavior. There's no reason for that to happen. It has to be. Because that's just how they want to behave. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to act. So I should take it as a literal threat to my character and to my personhood, and treat them as a threat until they stop being a threat. Either because they stop the behavior themselves, or because I neutralize them. If they didn't act like a threat to me, why do I have to be aggressive to them? Especially, and this is important, when dealing with people who are doing it because they know something about you, which is what happened in the middle of that entire encounter. Back in the days where I had to tard wrangle my own fucking lolcow of a friend, she stole a significant amount of money from my other friend, Amy, in lieu of $1,500. Some of which she got from other sources, most of which, at the time, she spent on a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh!, amongst other things. If you'd ever look it up, it'd be about the situation called Escape Zero. And one of the people who needed to be paid was a German artist that was responsible for designing that independent news journalist gamer website and its mascot. For this woman's ego, she envisioned herself to be some sort of... I'm just forgetting the character's name. What is her first name? Haruhara. Haruko. She envisioned herself to be some kind of never-ending, fooly-cooly, shitposting female protagonist in the form of Haruhara. And her name was Smug Roko. Real name Elizabeth. I'm not saying her last name. Elizabeth's problem is that every single time she'd get involved in a situation, she couldn't face it directly head on. You tell her, stop doing Spurg shit, she'll continue doing Spurg shit and expect somebody else to clean up her mess for her. We, of course, all got tired of this. Not our job to clean up your fucking mess. You can't fucking listen to us, we're not helping you with things. For this artist, he didn't get paid. What am I editing? I am editing alert sounds that I'm now putting into the alert window. Oh, this isn't secret. Every single person who knows who I am knows exactly who Smug, knows who Smug is. But at the time, this would be right around the time 5 years ago. So year 4, 3, 4. You're the expert on this, Callum. Year 3, year 4, Carl. 5 years ago would be exactly 2019, 2020, relatively, because the video that I posted about my friend's death, which this happened around when I was living at a different house than the one that I live in now, around about when I was still attending college, it'd be around about then. She got herself into a mess. Myself and Amy went to the farms to expose her behavior because she didn't listen to me. I told her stop doing what she was doing, stop acting like a lol cow. She didn't fucking listen, so we outed her and her behavior ourselves. And for this artist that was responsible for the work on Escape Zero, his name is Aki Spark. He was one of the many people who were not paid by her, including myself. There was a whole video documentary that was made about it that was eventually then taken down by a person in question because they themselves became transgender and they didn't want to be associated in multiple situations and things. Blah 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 blah. Yes, 2020. The smug shit preceded the factory arc because that would be when I moved my home and I was living here at that time. But she wasn't listening to us. We exposed her and her thread and all that shit. The farms did what the farms does. And right before they tried to turn that thread into like a conjoined thread of all the people who were supposed to be around her. So like what's happening to Dan's Burst right now, he's been fully doxxed on the farms. And they basically tried to do to us what they've been doing to him and Fabian and all those other individuals that they've been associated with because of their inability to handle, being pedophiles. Aki was, probably still is, but at the time was attending college in Germany. Now, Germany has a particular rule about art that they draw. Namely, if you do not safe for work art, and it can be tied to you and your public persona, he can face serious fines, up to and including disembarment and expulsion from his college. The person who kept trying to come to defend this individual kept trying to bring up an interaction that I had with Aki Spark. Namely, I took 90 of my own dollars and handed it to him. It wasn't anything nearly close to what he was owed by her, but I took money out of my pocket and gave it to him. I didn't pay it to him. I didn't trade it to him for any action or service or product or good. I gave him $90. And his means of saying, thank you, you a real one, Carl. Don't worry, I'll fill you in the second war. His response into saying thank you over that interaction was to create a piece of art using the Escape Zero mascot character, which is basically Haruko Haruhara with a different hair color. And basically me railing her shit. Mainly because, from his perspective, that was the joke. Carl's fucking the site over because Carl's putting her to task. Very fucking strange piece of art. I'm not exactly a person who's like into an art piece like that because I don't know why he had to make it sexual, but he did. But it's whatever. There are people that believe that I paid him to specifically make gooner art of me fucking her because I supposedly wanted to fuck her. For years, this has been a narrative that has gone on. Mostly because I didn't address the narrative, because I already know the truth. I know that it's a lie. I forget exactly when, but I think maybe it was about 9-ish months ago or so, whenever I had to defend Ash, because they were sending around the Alex Segal lies again. I ended up having to contact and DM him about that, because there are just a bunch of non-lurking newfags that were going around the boards, as they usually do, trying to pick up any piece of information that they can think that they could use against a person optically to antagonize them on Twitter, being like, ooh, I know about your drama, ooh, I know who you are, ooh, but nobody gives a fuck about this, right? This particular person comes around trying to do that, and it's just very obvious that the person in question has no idea about me or who I am. Yeah, exactly. This was much more 2019, 2021 Dimitri Monroe kind of shit. And that's basically in the essence of what it does. So you know that piece of fan art that involves Dimitri basically having sex with Amy in Rouge's outfit? It was that. But the mascot character. And I think it also had Remimus in the background as a cameo. As an in-joke. Yeah, there are a bunch of people that, for their fucking life of them, they think I legitimately paid him to make that, rather than him giving it to me as a gift. Because he felt that it would be wrong of him to take 90 of my dollars and give me nothing in return. So shit like that. It's fucking hilarious. Because the more that I do that, and this is the other side of what I do it for a personal reason, it's practice to not let shit like this get to me and not get heated or upset. I used to get a lot more upset, more unrationally so. And I just don't do that anymore now. I more or less let it roll off my back. Have to. Because they're not interested in telling the truth. They're just interested in being upset. And I'm not interested in that. Now, as for what we're talking about. You know how you have your definitive no when it comes to you, the sector, and dealing with tipster horror? Smug Rocco is my tipster. Things that deal with her, things that deal with drama about her, my past involvement with her, that's my no. And one of the things people used to do was basically try to harass me endlessly and tell people lies, saying that I will buy art of me fucking them if I get too close to a person. It actually directly relates to that one thing that I was talking to about that mutual of ours that I don't talk to anymore because they haven't tried to talk to me for over a year now. Where I tried to solve a problem. And they want no contact whatsoever. And have left the internet, in fact. I don't let people use shit like that to attack me anymore. Because I know for a fact that they don't want to, get justice. It's specifically to try and poke me as a reaction. So I just don't give a shit. The only reason I'm bringing it up here is because that person was explicitly trying to get a reaction out of it. And the only reaction that I gave them was the breakdown of a response that I gave them. I will not show that to you, but I will read to you what I said. Because my hope with that was to get this person to understand that they were being a lolcow about it, and being annoying. What I said to them, I'm going to tell you directly, nobody cares anymore. Start living in the future. My history amounts to telling a white woman to stop acting like a spurg, her not listening, me cutting ties with her, giving Arky Spark $90 out of my pocket from the $1,400 she owed multiple people, and him handing me the fan art that amounts to lewd porn of the Escape Zero mascot. I'm married, my relationship with my wife is strong, my son and immediate family are my focus, I get paid to have fun on the internet, and people like you who persist in lying to others either for clout, attention, the love of it, while choosing to either not acknowledge the details of anything, are sad. I've already mended relationships with at least Ash McGowan, because I'm not who I was in this situation, but it seems that you still are that person from back then. I'm sorry, that Carl's dead, because I killed him. On the topic of an internet lolcow so mad that he desperately wants to call me a slur expletive deleted, but he can't. They literally locked in on me thinking that they know who I am, just like you think you know who I am. Consider the motivations you chose to use before posting this not once but twice, thinking that by posting something everyone knows and doesn't care about, that it would result in anything other than everyone not carrying on with you, blood. I doubt even the people that you're sharing this DM chain with care more than LOL, he reacted! What would you like to talk about that has to do with the current year? I let 10 minutes go by, because it was about that amount of time that it took for that other guy to spurg at me and post another reaction, or lack thereof. And then I said to them, your lack of a response will be taken as intent of malice. Have a good life. Become better than you are in this moment. And then I blocked them. Dealing with shit like that, it's not my job to fucking be their personal babysitter. But I also don't have to tell them everything that I want to. But if they act the way that they do, I don't got to let them get what they want to get. It is cringe. Very, very cringe. And I will not allow it to attack and or control me. Alright, this is for Twitch. I need the one for YouTube. Because I believe I discovered the other day that the reason why these work the way they work is that it works off of the alerts that I post on that platform. So on the tip and donate, or is it super chat? There should be multiples. Yes. So alert variant. And then we can start fucking with it here. Yeah. Just brought it up because I thought it would be important for relevancy purposes. You know? Not that big of a deal, but trip down memory lane from somebody who's trying to help a lolcow escape being mocked by everybody else because they're acting like an idiot. Alright, let's get the shit loaded. Okay. 6 seconds should be enough, actually. A super chat that's equal to greater than. Or random. Let's do random. Maybe could have Carl. And boom. It should save this. Yes. Because it should be importing my alerts from everywhere. And let's test this. Close your mouth, fictional woman, and open your legs to possibilities. Another one. Close your mouth, fictional woman, and open your legs to possibilities. It's not triggering. You would be good at single player Carl. There you go. So now I can have the other ones as well. There we go. This one should be long enough. You would be good at single player Carl. I hate that it has a delay. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. Good. How are we feeling about these, chat? Are we liking them? Are we not liking them? Is there a certain number that you'd like them to trigger at? Do you want them to be random on the super chats? Because most of these are going to be super chats. Urgh. Okay, and I'm something shaped. Put up on something shaped. Creature. I want something that's ugly, but still accessible to be understood, so I guess this might work. Okay, custom quantity, 50.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
I'm something shaped. Perfect. Your favorite should be $5, your least favorite should be $20, and your second favorite should be for $50. That feels like a lot of money. Because since they're all of me, they're all my favorites. They're like my children. I can't necessarily pick my best, like my most favorited one. I can only pick my most favorited one that's the flavor of that particular week. The one that I think I like the most out of this line is probably I'm something shaped. You look at a woman and no backing track should be used in other situations. It's much like with saying I should pick a favorite between stale and the cookie, fresh and the cream. It comes with the penis and close your mouth, fictional woman. Like, I can't just choose. I would like to, but I can't just choose. And I don't think I should put them up for 50. 50 seems a lot. Was that me? Yes. It was from the other audio that we did the other day. Remember? $5 you'll hear the most often. $20 you won't hear very often. 50 is rare, but you want to recognize the line straight away. Well, since horror was in that one, horror, how much do you think your audio should be worth? See, I told you I was going to work on them. Did you forget? You probably were. You probably did because you weren't paying attention. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. How much do you think your own audio should be worth, horror? $5? Okay, let's make it $5. Should be the last one. I hope. There's always a thing that they do when you set up the thing. It will immediately change the file number and the file name inside of it, and it becomes almost impossible to recognize it. I hate the fact that the phone base has to be in my bedroom. I think I used the one that was the picture of the thing. Yeah, this is the one that has a creature. So it should be this one. This one, we edit the condition to be $5. Let's save.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
You expect me to remember everything? No, I do not expect you to remember everything. Does this work like this? 5.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend
There we go.
shaped.
I'm something shaped. And then 1.
Carl is friend, not
He is
food.
friend shaped.
That is hitting too many times for it to be
I'm something
common.
shaped.
That feels like it's hitting too many times. How do I fix this? Because what was the base super chat? Something is up super chat minimum. I put it for any quantity, it should change, right?
Stale in the cookie, but fresh in the cream.
No, I don't expect you to remember everything I tell you in a conversation. I wouldn't even necessarily expect you to remember everything that I do in terms of my antics. There are times that I can't even remember my own antics sometimes. That's not fair if I can't remember my shit, I expect you to remember my shit. It's fucked up. Well, we all know that I'm a creature. But I'm a friend. If I use any number, does it always pull it up as that? Well, we all know that I'm a creature. But I'm a friend. Gotta get back to work. Check back later. No problem, just a girl. That's... Why did it change the... Well, why the fuck did it change language? So, 5.
Stale in the cookie, but fresh in the cream.
It doesn't seem to be guaranteed. Which is interesting. At least this is just for the custom code. And with this one... I think the problem is that it's doing it when it's greater than. Let's do it when this equal to 5. And do this one when greater than 10. So this should work differently now. Well, we all know that I'm a creature, but I'm a friend. Okay. And then 9.
Stale in the cookie, but fresh in the cream.
Okay. And then exactly 5. You would be good at single player Carl. Nope, that is the other one. It appears that the alert variants just aren't working. At least not in the way that you'd want them to. I can add them to the alert variants and make different sounds, but getting them to trigger exactly does not seem to be working out. Which sucks. The only way to be able to do a true test with this is for people to donate money live, and I do not want you all doing that. I don't want you all spending money just to make sure that my system works as intended. What I think I'll do for this in the future as a donator reward is that people that put forth clips YouTube end clips, as well as Twitch clips. I will go through them, and if they have a particular thing that they want edited and requested to be created into an alert, I will make it on request if they're at that $20 and up tier. So that the fulfilling of the supply meets the demand that people have for it. It'll be one of many things that I could offer. Changing fresh and cream is just rendering the normalization on it. That's all that I need to do. When I originally cut that one, I didn't do what I did to all the rest of these ones. I have to do it again. I can do that very quickly.
But fresh in the cream. Stale in the cookie.
This should just be normalization. Oh.
Fresh in the cream. Fresh.
Yes, replace. Yes, put my metadata on it. Stale in the cookie, stale in the cookie, stale in the cookie, fresh in the cream, stale in the cookie, stale in the cookie, stale in the cookie, fresh in the cream. Right. And now it should be more improved to Peon's liking.
Stale in the cookie, but fresh in the cream.
It's a lot louder than it was the other time. Whenever it goes through a alert program, a lot of the sounds get converted back into OGG from MPV or PLF. So if it doesn't sound like that audio is improved, it is something on your end. So that should be all of them now. We'll have to test it to make sure that they're coming up as they're coming up, and if they don't come up the way that we're intending them to, because it's just a quirk of the system that's not letting them, then it is what it is. Realistically, if we really want to get chinchy about it, I believe there's an alert system for the back end for Jijima, whatchamacallit. For Kick. So, in the future, when they expand, we can be able to do alerts that are completely different for all three platforms. For now, most of them are mostly the same, but there are some key different ones that exist on certain platforms that tell me where the person's coming from, or where the chatter's coming from. Because I have almost all but completely given up on TikTok. Them fucking with the algorithm does not make me interested in using the TikTok studio. It's too complicated, it's too annoying, and I don't like having to fucking censor my chats the way that I do there. Should I brew black tea? I don't want a blue tea, you know, I don't even like sugar. Alright. Now, I will warn you all. I won't have as much time on the front half as I will on the back half. Because at some point, Star and I are going to go to the store during her lunch break to go buy me food supplies. Because I'm going to need to have them. I was envisioning more of an extremely bass-boosted Yoda. No. You wanted me to physically auto it. No, that fuck with the intention of the original clip. I just have to read it an entirely different thing for that. As I was saying. Round 3, 4. I will need to go to the store. And then I will be back for the rest of the day. Because I have several rolls of ground turkey meat. But I have nothing to use it with. So, because I'm in the mood for Mexican food, I have to go get supplies to make it. Because right now I'm between YouTube payments. It's not like I have no food. It's that I do not have the correct amount of rations of food to use it with. If that makes sense. Alright. We've done enough yapping. Let's get right back into the thick of it. Starting with, should be the Jake Weddle cut breakdown, yeah? This, that, 10-hour crash out from a history YouTuber. The last thing I talked about on that stream was Sid Alpha versus Smash GT. Primink. Where is Jake Weddle? There it is. Show logic. Oof. If all this is inside of this one-shot logic video, that might actually end up running us all the way till 3 o'clock. Go over to your lines, kids. Let's see what's going on here.
That was attacks or messaging yourselves with another account and then deleting it and then doing some Photoshop on top of that.
I say we give Jake Weddle free reign to engage in whatever physical violence he deems necessary against his next opponent.
Kappa. Okay. In order to talk about this, we need to go back. Okay. Jake Weddle. Failed comedian. Really bad humorous person. Crashing out extremely because all of his shit is being put in front of people's eyes. There are multiple parts to this crash out. So, what provoked this man? What made this really that mad? There are multiple parts of it. To go back before this, here we go. It has to do with his reaction to everybody mocking him over his bad humor, as well as his comedy special that is cringy and sad. And then his further crash out concerning his involvement with his girlfriend. The nurse is on her way. And then his reaction to his reaction of his reaction. What? I know, Mother. I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay. And then his third crash out, and series of other crash outs, being the reaction to the reaction to the reaction of 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 the reaction. And it just kept going and going and going and going and going. Which then leads to them, his girlfriend, Lex, breaking up with him. Apparently in the snippet of a song. So we've got breakup via SoundCloud. And then Jake Weddle's girlfriend taking down a video. And then Jake Weddle crying that he had to update all of his passwords. And then finally confirming everything that needed to be understood about his BPDX in a commentary interview that he had with somebody else, which was covered by Chud Logic, which is the last part. Okay. Here's where we start from. Jake Weddle is a very cringy internet lolcow. He spurgs and starts shit with other people, then gets mad when things don't go his way. Here, in this, because I'm going to have to go back and forth in it, is what he had to say. Also, some of you know the online harassment that I've received has kicked up dramatically since Jimmy has gone on his I Did Nothing Wrong tour. The hashtag RapeJakeWed and Free Nathan Weddle have permeated Twitter, hence why I got off the platform. Other creators have infiltrated and recorded my audience for the purposes of making content out of generating more drama, lame, cringe, bad, illegal. And some have ripped my special from those same paywalled platforms and streamed it, lame, cringe, bad, illegal. But as you can see here, he has put it up himself as of 2 weeks ago. I say all of this to say, none of you can get on stage like this. None of you can perform stand-up for 5 minutes, let alone 30. None of you, none, can do this. But I'd love to see you try. This special, spelled wrong, means a lot to me, because it shows all of you hate-filled morons what you'll never be able to accomplish. Be funny in front of a real, live audience. Lol, you can't. But you can be an angry dumbass behind a screen. That's more fitting. Stay behind the screen. It's where you belong. I've made the right enemies. People who spread vile shit like this online shouldn't be in my corner. I find you all more cringe than me, and that sends a lot. But you all, you all do is show your lack of empathy and, frankly, broadcast to the world that you are sad, stupid, lonely, and need friends or a hobby that isn't saying slurs to each other online. Anyways, have fun jerking each other off in your vile Discord lobbies, heart. I'll be here doing what I love that you could never do. Jake Whittle Comedy. From Judd Logic. I don't care if Jake wants to ignore the fact that his girlfriend is an embarrassing loser bitch, but it is a rich to talk about this stuff and totally leave out the fact that she has tried to run numerous Discord gay ops on critics of Jake. Had 2 ults in both of yours and Queeman's server. Probably has a new one by now as well. Lame, cringe, bad, and illegal. So, let us take a view of some of the lame, cringe, bad, illegal, freely uploaded work that Jake Weddle uploaded onto his own platform for the purposes of witnessing it for everybody to see. Certainly, it's not going to be dog shit. Not possible. Couldn't be. Jake Weddle could never produce something bad in his life. Let's watch. We will watch this at normal speed. I will pause and I will break up the monotony. But I don't want to lose the setup and the punchline of jokes. I don't want to penalize Andy out his jokes. We're going to give him a fair shake chance. We're going to give him a fair chance, Cat. We're going to give him a fair chance. Alright? Alright. Here's what he said nobody else could be able to do.
So when you come to a comedy show, there's a lot of times where the host will like come up here and introduce a comic and be like, give it up for a good friend of mine. This next comic is actually a really good friend of mine. I want you guys to give a big round of applause for all the way from New York, Jake Weddle, everybody.
Okay. He is getting wall at the bar treatment. Not a great introduction. Not a great introduction.
I'm not singing it. I can't do Jack White. No, I was living in New York for the past 3 years. I hated it. Oh God, it's so good to be back. I love being back. You know, there's backyards here. That's awesome. No, I was living in New York where I had like 6 roommates and like half a bathroom, and like I thought I was making like decent-ish money, you know, like I'm from here, so my mom's from North Carolina, so I was making more money than my mom, but my mom had more money than me. Does that make sense? You know, like where I was living, like eggs were $10, you know, but back home they just come out of chickens. So.
Does he have a speech impediment? I just hear your voice in my ear all the time now, Peon. No, I don't think he has a speech impediment. I think that's just how he legitimately talks. Rewind.
I love being back. You know, there's backyards here. That's awesome. No, I was living in New York where I had like 6 roommates and like half a bathroom, and like I thought I was making like decent-ish money, you know, like I'm from here, so my mom's from North Carolina, so I was making more money than my mom, but my mom had more money than me. Does that make sense? You know, like,
he didn't set this up very well. That should have been one of the leading punchlines to a series of jokes that he could be able to tell about how shit New York City is. And the fact that he has failed to set up his own fucking work tells me he probably did not actually work out in his head how he wanted these things to go. And if he did, holy fucking shit. If you're going to be working off of crowd reaction, with the responses they're going to give you, you have to know the routine that you're going to put up, and you have to bang these shits out and make every single bit of your performance fucking natural, dude. Because ironically enough, I am one person who would know exactly all about this, because I've done stand-up on stage before. Exactly. Exactly. He's not capitalizing on his own fucking setups. He's just like, and thenning through the entire thing. Because Lord knows, every single time I'm sitting in this fucking chair, or sisters, is every chair I sit on gonna be a woman? Serious talk, chat. Is this a woman? Am I going to give every chair I sit on a female name? The gamer chair's name was Tyrone. But technically, I took the cushions off of it. So, is the chair the physical structure, or is the chair the cushion that touches your ass? I'm asking, seriously, dead ass. Because if the cushion is the chair, and the structure that supplies support to the cushions is the object, then this is Tyrone. One reason I have been wearing on this is because it feels a little bit strange when I have it on my back. If the chair is the physical structure, then this is an all new different chair that needs a name. Putting my own thought up there, Raptisha, because of the sound my nails make when I tap it. Also, I hear something happening in someone's house. 1 second. So she's already here and she's already picked up the box. Where's the letter? You can't. Right there. Told her to tell her to take pictures. Yeah, because you should have told her that when you had her on the phone. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyways. You keep forgetting what he said in the next sentence. I don't know. We'll work it out as we go through this. Develop the series of a joke that I could be able to tell about my chair. Reset.
You know, like I'm from here, so my mom's from North Carolina. So I was making more money than my mom, but my mom had more money than me. Does that make sense? You know, like where I was living, like eggs were $10, you know, but back home they just come out of chickens. So late laugh, love that, hell yeah. Yeah.
Cringe. He just did a what's funny joke. Oh, that's in it. I'm not gonna put a counter on the screen, but oh my god, what he just did just there was a cardinal fucking sin. His jokes were so bad, he thought nobody was gonna even give him a sympathy chuckle.
Yeah, no, I did go to my first New York baseball game. That was a lot of fun. And at that game, I noticed they're still doing the kiss cam. You guys, what the? You guys cool with that? Like, what kind of casting couch bullshit? Like, whose job is it? You know, during an entire baseball game to be surveying the audience with a camera, and he's like, oh, fuck yeah. Them. Put that on the screen for everybody. Like anybody who volunteers for that job shouldn't get it, I think. And I realized I looked at that guy. Like that's fine, you know. Yeah. I realized what vibe I'm giving.
He is so fucking nervous on this goddamn stage. He has no confidence in a joke that should be fucking perfect. There are 5 different ways I could go with that joke, so I'm gonna use an example for my fucking self. I can only imagine that when you're at a stadium, that it's one person's job or a group of people's job, where they just have a series of walkie-talkies, and it's like, hey Dale, what's going out there on the front? Hey, nothing's going on here. Just watching people in the crowd, you know, doing the job. Well, if you see any people who look like they're gonna, you know, do it behind the bleachers, you just let me know, bro. No problem. I'll just send that up to corporate. Throughout the entire game, he's just standing over people like the equivalent of fucking the Truman Show. And every single time he's looking at people in the crowd, he's just got people spotting for him. Spotting until they find perfect examples like, oh, now look, I found a target. That's E6151. Yes, yep, the one that's about to pull her titties up. Yes, her. Absolutely. And all of the time, they treat it like Mr. President. All so that he can specifically bring it all together. And there's going to be some new guy on the job that's going to be like, Dale, don't you think it's a little problematic that we still expose people and, you know, the most intimate, private moments for everyone to see? You'd be like, Thomas! Come here, Thomas. Thomas, come here. You see that man about to propose to his woman? It is our job to give these people something to look at. You think they come for the fucking games? Our team is ass! We've been losing for 15 years straight! No! They come here because they pay $30 a seat, especially $25 for the fucking nosebleeds, so they could potentially see somebody getting it on the top row. Okay, little buddy? See that guy over there? The one that is eating hot dogs like no tomorrow? His wife is about to fucking tell him that she's pregnant with triplets. Do you want to miss a man who's about to fucking swallow his sausage because she wasn't swallowing his? It is our job to do this, boy. Now find me another couple for the kiss cam. I'm not saying that my delivery on that is the best, especially considering that there isn't people in the audience to be fucking cacking, kiki, hollering, and even heckling me about it being shit, which I know if I was to do a fucking live audio special, Horror would be the first one to throw a fucking tomato at my goddamn head. But you need storytelling to make that joke work. Because you went from New York City is shit to you have no living space with your flatmates / roommates to your mom makes more money than you despite the fact that your buying power is in the garbage can to kiss cams. What's all that about? There's no through line. How are we moving from subject to subject in this particular way? These things should be bangers on bangers on bangers on bangers, and then you just keep wrapping it back around to how shit New York City is. That's literally all you need to do if you're going to tell a New York City line of humor. Either New York City is show shit or New York City is great until you realize how shit it is. Like, New York City is great. Why the fuck would I ever need to buy a console in Grand Theft Auto when I can just get my car stolen for free? Gotta stay awake on the fucking train before I become news on Twitter. And other such topical things. But of course, this happened in the past. He wouldn't have advantage to take and use that for material. But I could. It's just abysmal. Moving forward.
Like anybody who volunteers for that job shouldn't get it, I think. And I realized I looked at that guy. Like that's fine, you know. Yeah. I realized what vibe I'm giving off, you know. I looked like I was going for like a rugged hipster thing. Ended up getting pedophiles intern. I get it, you know. I looked like I set up the Wi-Fi on Epstein's island, you know. password is Quentin. I changed the punchline of that joke depending on the room, okay? I know who's here.
Calling out the fact that he knows people in his crowd to heckle him when nobody's made an attempt to heckle him. He's not necessarily even dying on stage. He's just overreacting and being way too fucking nervous so that he can focus on his performance. Making fun of sports team in New York City hasn't been difficult this year at all, is the sad part. I know, it's crazy.
The password is Quentin. I changed the punchline of that joke depending on the room, okay? I know who's here. No, but I got a bad vibe. You know, I got. People always come up to me and they ask me one of two things. They always ask me, "Are you gay?" And "Are you on coke?" And my answer to both is not right now. Men's bathroom. You do a self-deprecative joke and you go, all right, that's enough. You know, that's, like I'm not gay. I know that. I know I'm straight, but I did try. You know, I gave it 2, hearty tries and 1 half-hearty. You know, like I know for a fact. I know I'm not into that because I tested it. You know, it's these dudes who are like, oh, no, gross, never in a million years, absolutely not, never, ew. What are you scared you're gonna fucking like it? I'm the straightest guy in the fucking room. Okay. No, they.
Boom. Get to the funny part.
Ew! What are you scared you're gonna fucking like it? I'm the straightest guy in the fucking room, okay? No, dating's tough.
Now he's dying on his ass. From fucking 3:30 to about maybe 3:47.
Oh, no, gross. Never in a million years. Absolutely not. Never. Ew. What are you scared you're gonna fucking like it? I'm the straightest guy in the fucking room, okay? No, dating's tough.
He spent so much time trying to work up the particular means he was trying to deliver that with that he probably forgot the original setup for how he was supposed to end that, waffled through the ending of that for about 10 seconds, and then gone. He's gone. He's completely fucking gone. His entire temple's been disrupted. He's the sound of what happens when somebody gets punched in the head. It's like, snap back to reality. Remember, chat, you can't do this. None of you can do this. It is impossible for you to do this.
Alright. You know, I gotta try to figure out what my type was. Yeah, I think I figured it out. Apparently my type is almost lesbian. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like edgy bi women who almost exclusively date other women, and they'll tell me, they go, Jake, okay, well, relax.
He is bad at crowd work. Holy shit, is he bad at crowd work. No one tackled him, by the way. Just over-enthusiastic sounds from the audience. No one's tried fucking with him. If he didn't mention that there were people who were there to make fun of him at a special, nobody would have known if they were in the crowd. He told them that they were there and acknowledged that they were there, which is probably the reason why he's dying on his ass.
Yeah, they tell me, Jake, normally I don't date men because they're too aggressive and masculine. But not you, Jake. No, Jake, you like to drink wine and cry. You don't give off big dick energy. You give off little spoon energy, actually. I was laying in bed, there was one girl, and she had her hand on my bed, just like this, and she said, right here, you feel just like a woman. I didn't know what to say. So I just kind of looked up longingly and played with her armpit hair. You know how you... I love doing that joke on the road because I'll be in the South and everyone's like, oh, no! Yeah. I did that joke in Portland. They're like, I don't get it. What do you mean? I'm fine. No, I was actually recently the only straight white guy at a party. Right fucking up top, brother. Which, first of all, it's me and that guy. First of all, I'm not good at parties. Clearly, you know? Like, I got a lot of emotional baggage, you know? Like, that's not good at a party. Like, I'll be at a party, and someone will come up to me and be like, oh my god, is that tequila? Don't give me tequila. Tequila makes me get naked. And I'll just be like, tequila makes my dad angry. It's a bad vibe at a party. But I was the only straight white guy at the party.
He's still dying on his ass. You ever seen a person who's, like, about to fall on a floor? Like, their foot clearly has no traction. They are slipping, but they catch themselves, and they slip again, and they catch themselves, and they slip again, and they just fucking yoinky splinker their way across the room, making penis music noises, just... That's him right now. He's still not making any connection to any of his fucking humor. I don't know if the high five was planned in his transition bit after he's done talking about lesbians, but okay, we've gone from kiss cams, ew, lame, cringe, bad, problematic, to I don't know if I'm gay or not, but man, I tried, and now I know I'm the straightest son of a bitch in this room at all. What? Well, scared to kiss a man's dick? What? Afraid you might like it? To I am so effeminate that the only type of woman and or a man that I can apparently attract is strong chapstick butch lesbians. When I cuddle with them in bed, I feel exactly like a woman. I could not tell you what exactly his idea was, because you think that if you wanted to still make this structured as, oh my god, fucking don't go back to New York. New York was the worst place for me to be in my life. I can actually think of a great way in which you could have set that up. Because wouldn't it work better if you would set up the joke like, oh my fucking god. Oh fuck, chat, I went to New York. New York is shit. Do not fucking go to New York. Oh my god, it is worse than the fucking Jackson Pollen painting out in the street there. I had to live in a flat, 5 men and 2 lesbians, back to back on one cot. At some point, I could have swore the roaches were braiding our fucking hair. It was me, 2 lesbians, and only the most yoinkity sploinker of fucking gay men. And one of those lesbians said to me, Carl, when you hold my hip like that, you feel exactly like a woman. I was so taken aback I didn't know what to say, so all I fucking said was and fucking kissed him on the shoulder. Unfucking believable. I couldn't believe it. That was not gangster of me. There is a way to connect these things to things. I'm about to start using this as a microphone. Mainly because of the effect. It don't make the sense when I don't have a proper fucking microphone to do it with, but you know the sound it makes when you do that with your microphone. It's very easy. Very simple. Not difficult at all to understand that shit. But there is a way to connect these humors to other things. Especially when she yelled out in the crowd. What he should have done was something to the equivalent of when she yells out.
You don't give off big dick energy. No, dating's tough. Alright. You know, I gotta try to figure out what my type was. Yeah, I think I figured it out. Apparently my type is almost lesbian. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like edgy bi women?
I hear one AO in the crowd.
Who almost exclusively date other women, and they'll tell me, they go, Jake, okay, well, relax.
Instead of him saying that, he should have been like, Olga, you said you were gonna stay. You said you was gonna stay backstage. Anything at all to recognize the crowd work, see the potential, and capitalize on it. He could have been like, and all the distance goes to 2 supporting members of my flatmates. You could have done anything. You could have done anything other than what you chose to do, and you still embarrassed yourself while doing so.
First of all, I'm not good at great white guy at a party. Right fucking up top, brother. Which, first of all, it's me and that guy. First of all, I'm not good at parties. Clearly, you know? Like, I got a lot of emotional baggage, you know? Like, that's not good at a party. Like, I'll be at a party, and someone will come up to me and be like, oh my god, is that tequila? Don't give me tequila. Tequila makes me get naked. And I'll just be like, tequila makes my dad angry. It's a bad vibe at a party. But I was the only straight white guy at the party, and I go take a group photo. I'm in the group photo, you know? I'm like, yeah, okay. And I go back to my friend, and my friend goes, Jake, were you in that photo? And I was like, yeah, what? He goes, right before they took that photo, they said, lesbians only! And nobody stopped me, you know? Not even six mustache in the room. You're fine, get in here, come on. I'm in that photo like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining, you know? Part of the hotel the whole time. No, it's good. I know it's you know, going on dates. I got you know, it's hard. I went on a date one time. No, it wasn't a date. She go.
Every single time he resets his tempo to go into the next bit, he loses all energy to look at a single person in the crowd and try to focus on eye contact. Every single time. I'm standing up right now. But unless there is a reason for you to be looking down, especially when you're off tempo, in the bit of, you don't want to stand still the entire fucking time you're doing stand-up comedy unless you're in a position like this, right? Imagining that the wine bottle is the microphone. You want to be able to be in just a calm, chill guy position. Because all of your body is the tool you're going to communicate your story with. Basically, let all of the fucking momentum of your body give away as though you were about to break down in Michael Jackson moves. You won't need it. Him slurring his words is not helpful either. But the reason he's slurring his words is because he's not saying what he's saying confidently. That's obvious. He's more worried about hecklers that are going to interrupt him in the middle of his special at any point in time, rather than focusing on being funny. His body and his physicality is entirely off. There's no energy to any of his delivery. He's hoping that the laughs will carry him, rather than concerning himself with his delivery.
He goes, come to this bar right now. You know those? And I get to the bar, and she goes, okay, Jake, listen. I've had a bad day. I want to have a couple of drinks. I want to have sex. Awesome, wonderful communication that we're doing, right? So we're sitting there, we're talking. We're going over every horrible thing that has ever happened to either of us. My therapist calls that trauma bonding. I call it vibing, right? So we're vibing. We're vibing, and
that was probably his best punchline setup into the story that he wants to tell. And yet, he's just ruined it. Just fucking ruined it.
I've had a bad day. I want to have a couple of drinks. I want to have sex. Awesome, wonderful communication that we're doing, right? So we're sitting there, we're talking. We're going over every horrible thing that has ever happened to either of us. My therapist calls that trauma bonding. I call it vibing, right? So we're vibing. We're vibing, and she stops me, and she goes, Jake, I'm having a really good time, but I cannot have sex with you. And I go, okay, that's fine. What happened? You know, because I thought it was going good. And she goes, first off, mustache. I go, that's fine, say no more, it's okay, I get it. But then she goes, I swear to God, this is true. She goes, the way you speak, you sound like you're always doing a comedy bit all the time. and I do not want to have sex with Dad. And that's fair, because I don't know if you ever had sex with a guy who can't get out of comedy mode. They're like, hey, really good to be here. You come here often, or? Is that the light? That's my time. My name is Jake Whittle. They hate when I get the light, all right?
There is potential with that joke. There was a lot of potential with that joke. And yet, still fucking flabbed. Carl, why do you like the joke? Because that sounded horrible in your head. Sometimes, when you start doing self-depreciating humor, you need to be able to use the self-depreciating humor in a way that is actively going to improve the punchline of the story, the more objectionably obtuse it gets. It just still feels like you're and-thenning through your punchlines. There's really no energy to the setup. There's no energy to the story. You go from being on a date, saying that she wants sex. In the middle of the date, she stops you to tell you that she's not going to fuck you. Because you are the equivalent of Elmo doing a cunty serve about how much they hate Rocco. And you sound and feel like a clown on a Cartoon Network kid show, actively being torn through a cheese grater. Comically slow. Just every single time, it's like Klutzy from that one thing. Oh, Gideon, you can't help me. I'm being pulled through the cheese grater. To explain that there is barely anything there. Talk about fucking pulling meat off the bone. You would somehow be behooven to try and get even a sliver of fucking delicious sinew off of an already picked clean bone, bro. And you're already white as fuck. You can't be doing shit like this. You can't be unhumorous and also cringe. Where's all that resentment and anger that has become a part of your routine? Where's the real self-depreciating humor? I know you got it in you. Everyone's got it in them. It's getting out of you, that's the hard part. Especially when you're in the light.
No, actually, I recently got out of a bad breakup. I found out she was cheating on me. Anybody else go through a bad breakup right now? With my ex? That was a weird Mario-ass fucking... What kind of woo-ass fucking... What happened? Why did you guys break up? What happened? What? You can't be loud and then look away. What happened?
Yeah, no, I'm embarrassed now.
Okay. First actual opportunity to do crowd work. Now he actually calls out a person. Let's see how Jake handles this, chat.
What happened? Why did you guys break up? What happened? What? You can't be loud and then look away. What happened?
Yeah, no, I'm embarrassed now.
You were so quick to switch gears. That was... Oh, fuck. You looking at me? Shit. Oh, I didn't think I would be that loud. Shit. No, I'll keep going, but relax.
I thought there'd be hundreds.
No, it's just me and you. It's just me and you here in these streets.
Here we are.
Here we are. You see, you're confident again. You see, I can't figure you out. It's like he wants to talk, but then the second he bombs, he's like, oh, never mind, I wasn't talking at all.
I mean, I'm demonstrating an example of the kind of shit that he should be doing on stage, but, Zero fucking point. Deader than a fucking doornail. Energy, charisma, completely gone. No ziz, no riz. L plus ratio, die in the streets. I don't know how to save this. For all the blubber on my body, I do not know how to save you. I don't. It's like he is a void of comedy. Any opportunity, he fucking squanders. And now you've squandered probably your best crowd opportunity. that we've seen thus far. And then you're being a dick about it. That's the part that I hate the fucking most. You're being a dick about it. You're being a dick about it. Well, man, you were just talking about how great you were at your comedy special. Should you get an award for going out on the stage? I guess you should. But boy, you are bombing! Bombs over laughed at.
What do you do for work? What do you do for work?
I'm a sales rep. Yeah.
Did you see that laugh before that? I'm a sales rep. What do you sell? You see, he's picky and choosy, this fucking guy.
Alright, I really have to go now.
Oh,
Epoxy
Jesus
flooring.
Christ, you good?
Epoxy
There's
flooring.
more acts after me. This guy. I have to go now.
Is it his fault that he's being heckled by someone who sounds like they might be the brother of Chris Chan? I suppose not, but at the same time, you're still being a dick and you're not even being funny about it. Here at Shady Frames Production, we believe that it is important to be a whole ass, not a half ass. So if you're gonna go out with a bang and a boom. What the fuck is this?
That's about what I do. It's epoxy flooring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make sure we're all grounded. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's nice of you. Anyway, my ex cheated on me with that guy.
I doubt it.
No, that's true. I did find out she was cheating on me. I think I handled it pretty well, though. I didn't do anything Carrie Underwood wouldn't do. And that's a weird double standard. How come when a man cheats on a woman, women are like, I dug my chin to the side, and everyone's like, yes, bitch, kill him, you know? But if I'm working multiple jobs, make sure I can afford the Manhattan apartment she insists that we have, where she's fucking people, I can't at least text her and call her a cunt. What's that about? You know what I mean? That's just...
I'm sorry, can you slow the fuck down so we can hear any consonants in that sentence? Is it possible, Jake? Because here we have another opportunity. You could have connected this shit back to the money that you were making while you were working in New York City, if that's what you were doing.
I doubt it.
No, that's true. I did find out she was cheating on me. I think I handled it pretty well, though. I didn't do anything Carrie Underwood wouldn't do. And that's a weird double standard. How come when a man cheats on a woman, women are like, I dug my chin to the side, and everyone's like, yes, bitch, kill him, you know? But if I'm working multiple jobs, make sure I can afford the Manhattan apartment she insists that we have, where she's fucking people, I can't at least text her and call her a cunt. What's that about? You know what I mean? That's just...
Blah, 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 blah. Slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. Slow down. Why are you rushing through the fucking punchline of your humor?
I can at least, you know, no, you know, during the relationship, I think my TikTok algorithm was trying to save the relationship, you know? Like at first, my algorithm, you know, was like, okay, you're an anxious, she's an avoidant. Here's how you guys are gonna figure it out, you know? And then the breakup happened, my algorithm switched, I got on some Andrew Tate shit. I think that's what happens. The algorithm goes to really sad text. It goes, oh, he's perfect for this right here. That's funny. I went from therapy Jeff to fuck her and get Bugatti. Fucking. That's how it happens.
Okay, we have now thrown the Super Pedo brothers under the bus for the purposes of cheap laughs. Still not steady on his feet. Not a single bit. How much time did you work in this material? And is this really the first time you're using this material on stage? I hate this anti-comedy. This is killing me. There's 20 minutes left! Dread. Does anybody want to hit the tap out button? Horrors probably want to hit the tap out button. Does anybody else want to hit the tap out button? Because this is atrocious. Phew! Patoi. There's something stuck in my gap. What the fuck did I do? I put it on my dresser. Okay. 10 minutes of Jake Waddle comedy. I want to gouge my eye out with a fucking thread scissors. Like, thread scissors. Oh my god! And he had the audacity to say that nobody else could do that. Before we move forward, let's look at the comments that are on the page. Aw, thanks for the shout out, and I will always be proud to be your mom. Heart emoji, pinned by Jake Weddle. We all went to school with a guy like this. Congrats on your first special. The harvest must grow. Jake, I was exercising on the treadmill the whole 30-minute second. It passed like a breeze. 323.3 lol at the sneak diss. This is awesome, so deserved. Awful, please don't pick up a mic again. An enjoyable stand-up special posted on a platform I don't have to pay more. It was a welcome surprise. A $7 donation. A full free 40-minute comedy special. Thanks for blessing us today, Jake. Keep up the good work. 40-minute? There's 31 minutes here. Ooh, you tried to take something out. Ooh, ooh. You tried to edit out at least 9 minutes out of this material? Ooh, you's a bitch. Ooh. Alright. So good old Jake Weddle tried to have a comedy special. But he's really bad at comedy. Why don't you get on stage, Carl? I do it every single day. Every single day. I do it every single day when I'm in front of this camera. Lord knows the shit that I've said that are entire bits that I've done by myself with nothing but a fucking backing track and Balashro on my side. So, Jake Weddle tries to be funny. And this is what happens. Go fuck yourself. Frankly, YouTube commentary channels that make content calling people crazy, being hyper-negative, spreading drama for the sake of clicks can kiss my ass. My face in your title thumb calling me crazy on Hinge will have you, what have you. You are exhibiting the psycho behavior. I find it genuinely dystopian to have my face, my lived experiences, and my mental state be used for profit, speculated on, and narrativized. I'll say this again, if you use my face, my trauma, and my mental state for your dog shit content, you're making YouTube a shit place to be, and you're genuinely a bad and stupid person. And if you eat that content up, you also need a psych eval. YouTube commentary and drama is literally no better than scummy paparazzi. You're not a journalist. You're Y-O-U-R. You're not a journalist. You're Y-O-U-R. A gossip channel. You're please, I beg you, Jake. Please, punctuate. Spell check. Please, fucking spell check. If your commentary is just pointing and laughing at something. If someone is genuinely crazy, then they need help. Not to be mocked. I go to therapy. I take my meds. You clearly ain't taking enough. And I'm dealing with you dorks harassing me every day. Damn, that's crazy. Can you imagine if you put that into a stand-up routine and you made it actually interesting, unlike the shit that I just witnessed? You fucking nerds harass me on a daily basis, and when my mental health is affected by you dorks, you go and say, see, he's lost it. I would be fine if not for you dorks. Get a life. Get a hobby. Come up with better video ideas. Someone better tell him about Schadenfreude, where we get pleasure laughing at your pain. I do not care. Your mind will not be the same. Which then brings us to the Outlook account, soft confirming that he's parasocially attached to the attention that he was getting. Thank you, and Merry Christmas. The last few days have been rough, but today has been truly great. I want to thank all my friends and family for the support. Yes, parasocially, you can have a lot of support, but internet voices who don't really know you can't truly be there for you. It can be very dangerous to push away all the real people in your life and only listen to the yes men inside your community. So I want to thank the real people in my life, the people who know me for their support. Anyone can say anything about you online, in good faith or bad, but the only people who have the real full picture of anything are your friends and family. I promise moving forward to listen to you guys more. The people who know what's best for me are the people who have been there for me for years. But if you know me, you know I love learning things the hard way. Which then led to... I do not regret to inform you that Jake Weddle and his girlfriend Lex appear to have broken up. Evidence, a snippet of a song that Lex dropped on SoundCloud. And you know what? The track ain't half bad. Ah! It's been removed! Sag. We missed out on the clip it in the snippet, guys. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. We will read it. I don't even care if it's some elaborate bake. Jake Weddle getting Taylor Swifted is all I could ever want at Christmas and more. Merry Christmas, everyone. No! Now we'll never get to see the full release of Trauma Bonding from Weddle. Fucking devastated. Can't believe these two mentally stable individuals who definitely aren't unhinged schizos won't be gracing the YouTube drama subreddit as the internet's favorite OTP anymore. Which then, of course, leads to Jake Weddle's girlfriend taking down her video, which apparently was there on the channel. Unfortunate. And then finally, Jake Weddle acknowledging that he has updated all his passwords on his accounts because he broke up with her. Cry emoji. Saddest fucking horn. Which of course brings us all the way back to here. Jake Weddle confirms everything on his BPDX and commentary interview. Let's dive right in.
Now move swiftly on to part 2 of the situation. And after everything that's happened, we now reach the destination. Aiden did actually manage to get Jake Weddle on for a conversation. And he did it via a mobile phone.
Evening Buster.
So he bravely persevered in the face of everything.
To all the Twitch losers who said you would never make it, look at you now, 11k real viewers.
Very true. Thank you for the tip.
Okay, that's
so,
but how do I make money off depressed people? The viewer increase is due to this being the first time Chud has spoken to a woman that doesn't have a Gotcliff. We had to see it to believe it.
Thank you very much for the super chat. So now we reach the conversation between Jake Weddle and Aiden. And then following on from that, we've then got this recording being released, which we'll get to after we listen to the Jake Weddle combo. So this is the combo that then led to the leak of this call. So let's hear Jake Weddle, in his own words, what he's got to say about all this business. Let's see how Aiden did handling the combo. I'm looking forward to this. Welcome. Hey, good prime, Sergio Khan. Appreciate it.
Hi, I just want to make sure the stream can hear you. Do you mind just saying something?
Yeah, testing 1, 2, testing. What the fuck is going on? Holy shit.
Is it all good stream? Can you hear him? Can everybody hear him?
For anybody who happens to be wearing headphones, I have audio boosted the sound by 250, and I will be turning off the majority of necessary sounds on my edge with the video game.
Yeah, dude, I guess I do gotta reset all my passwords. Cam is texting me right now on. I'm not gonna say where because I don't know where Lex's logged into all my accounts. What the fuck is going on?
That is the most insane fucking.
Is she actively saying right now that she's trying to protect me on like another stream right now?
Yeah, she's saying she's doing this out of concern for your mental health.
Oh, what's concerning for my mental health is she's logged into my Discord. It has been for the last like 4 or 5 days, I guess. Going through my messages.
This is like psycho behavior. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen
I was gonna come on here and be like, I don't want anyone to harass Lex. I don't want to, that's not why I condone. I just want to get my side of the story.
R&K! Jake's about to say R&K, R&K, R&K!
And she was saying that I was being verbally abusive. Apparently she's saying I punched a wall, which isn't true. I was hoping this was gonna be casual. It was gonna be like a one and only time. And I was gonna talk about this publicly because I wanted to put this behind me. I was just gonna give my piece and then go work on cars, bro. I'm kidding. I do stand up. But hey Lex, for my mental health.
You mentioned that you do stand up, bro. You should be loving every single second of what's currently happening to you right now. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you serious? The comedian who just had horrible fucking crash out humor live on stage, he doesn't want to get more material to make more stand up? You're upset about that? You're not laughing and rolling about this? Because it sounds like you're the victim in the situation. You know how to do that. Come on.
Can you please not be logged in to all my devices and get out of my phone, please? That's for my mental health. I would appreciate that.
So this is obviously, on the face of it, very soy. and very gay. But I think the reason that he's saying it specifically like that is because he is basically using Lex's word against her, right? Because Lex is trying to say, I care about his mental health. So he's clearly saying that because it's like, well, you claim to care about my mental health, so for my mental health, stop doing this, right? That's what he's trying to get across there.
That would probably be a good idea. That would probably
I mean, like, spoiler alert, right? I think that Jake is being wronged in this situation. As much as I've criticised him, as much as I've mocked him, as much as I've said everything I've said about him, as much as I disagree with a lot of his framing, or everything I've ever said about Jake hasn't changed, but I still think he's getting, like, fucked by some crazy bitch, some psycho bitch in this situation, you know? Now, is he, like,
True.
an adult? Has he been permissive of this when it's benefited him? Sure. However, let's be real here, right? I think that, you know, take to the tango, and clearly Lex is a big fucking dancer. Let's put it that way. The 10K is unbotted. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know where it's coming from. For this stream, we're going to have massively inflated figures. I believe I'm up between 1,200 and 2,000 viewers somewhere. The exact number I don't know. But for some reason, I don't know, something's happened.
That would be very nice of you. I don't need you to protect me right now. If anything, I would like you to stop threatening me behind the scenes. You know, the fact that you matter. Like, this was supposed to be so much more casual and so much more...
Stop being that allergic to any mention of mental health is so cringy.
But how do I make money?
What's cringy is being a decrepit mentally ill freak at every turn. That's the cringy part. Thank you for the super chat. I'm just pointing out that asking for someone to relent on you because of your mental health normally is like a victim mentality shit. Whereas here, he's saying it for a specific reason, is to speak to what Lex was saying.
Or like, kill, and now I'm really freaked out that she's logged in all my accounts and blocking me. Like, that was like, there was like, my computer was haunted. I was like,
exactly. It's so deranged to say, oh, I care about him. That's why I'm going to try and do him harm if he talks about my situation in terms of releasing this thing to, you know, ostensibly prove abuse, really to embarrass and shame him for acting like a wretched little loser.
You and she was reblocking you, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
For a minute there, I was like, dude, is this guy that mad that my webcam wasn't working? Is he really that? Yeah, I'm like, did he really take it that personally? That's crazy.
I said we're doing faces, and you took too long, okay?
Yeah, dude, that would be nuts. So,
that's so funny, holy shit.
So before she like puts an EMP on your house and the phone call cuts out, I mean, at this point, I don't know. There's obviously something that she doesn't want getting out there. I don't care about this. I care for his mental health shit. Is obviously a complete cope because she put like recordings of you obviously going through it in her SoundCloud song.
Yeah. Well, first of all, behind the scenes, so what happened was, I'll just get into the whole situation. If I start ranting, how about I'll start with this. I would like to publicly apologize to the YouTube community, to the r/YouTube drama subreddit, to my audience. I got grifted. I firmly believe that I got grifted. You know, because when Lex came into my life, it was after the dog pack stuff. I was in a really, really, really bad mental health place, and yeah, she, you know, did all the things that, you know, on paper, you know, a lot of people warned me. I was getting out of another relationship that was, you know, so much.
She did all the things on paper that people warned me she would do. She tried to make me feel better. She was coping. She was seething with me. She was fucking me right 3 times a week for 5 square meals of coochie with added penis as a side project for dessert. She was just doing it all. I mean, okay. Alright.
I got a bad habit of rushing into things, and people were like, Jake, you know, don't rush into that thing. And I was like, no, this one's different. And that's how I got my fix. That's silly me. I apologize to the world. But, you know, Lex at first acted as my assistant. She was really helpful. You know, she was helping me with my emails and my Discord. Whoopsie.
Oh, Nathan Weddle, now with cool sunglasses. I told my son not to trust that Batman. The reality is that women like this are like, they're like a botfly, right? They fucking they plant themselves in your body and grow into like a little maggot eating away at your flesh, or some sort of parasitic species, right? They burrow into your life and they make themselves indispensable, so that it's very difficult to rip you out. And that when you do, it causes you a lot of pain, right? That's what the kind of person that Lex is, and that's what's happened here. Because look how quickly she jumped in on social media, making his life more difficult by being an embarrassing wretch, talking about how happy he was, you know? Just injecting herself in, making it feel at least like she's indispensable, latching on with the claws, like a leech. Maybe a leech is a better analogy, one that everyone will understand. But in any case, yeah, it's very obvious. I think it's very obvious dynamic. Now, does that mean that Jacob's off the hook for this? Well, no, he's an adult man, right? And he should be able to recognise this and see the signs. But I feel like often, you know, like, it's difficult to see when you're in that situation. It is more tricky to see what's happening. And Jake does seem like a totally spineless, wretched freak. So, like, it sounds harsh, but I'm actually defending him by saying that, okay? Because I can easily see how a guy like Jake wouldn't be able to recognise this. And he's obviously going through quite a tumultuous time with all this Mr. B stuff, as much as I've criticised him for all of that. Clearly, from his perspective, it is going to be quite tumultuous and quite, you know, fast-moving. He's probably not going to discern stuff maybe as well as he would if he didn't. He's just totally raped, basically. Correct, yes, exactly.
In probably more ways than one, actually.
I just don't want it to act like, oh, well, you know, there's nothing to say about Jake's behaviour, because that obviously is. Like, for example, the fact he was permissive of this when this was beneficial to him, right? So clearly, there's messages that I've seen where it's like, Lex seemingly is leading the way on some of this gay ops alt stuff, but he is permissive of it when it benefits him.
How do I make money off
So it's like, well, you know, maybe you shouldn't have been permissive of that. Maybe you should have shut that shit down, but it was useful to you then, or you felt that it was useful to you then, you know? Also, there's probably a dynamic where the fear probably set in, and he was probably like, oh my god, this person's deranged, and then that's the point where you're like, what do I do now? This person's like lashed themselves onto me and they're fucking mental. But I think he probably could have stepped forward earlier and spoke up about this, but it would have obviously been more painful for him at that point because he was dealing with this Queen stuff and this helmet stuff that was happening.
Daisies. I thought I screwed around my stuff, but I guess I'm not good at that. I'm gonna need a security check on all my things after this, I guess. That's a little scary, but yeah.
I just wanted, because we spoke about it earlier, so there's just some fun.
How long until you give a woman your login info? Never. I would never, ever allow anyone except for myself to have my login access. Ever.
If she asked me to, depending on certain ways, I'd be more than happy to give Star access to anything that I have for communication purposes. Mainly because I have nothing really to hide, and I trust her. Now, if she was to spy it and check that information every 5 minutes, every 23 seconds, expecting a full download log of the logs that come from my video with any kind of keylogger, that'd be too much. That'd be too much. But no, she knows how to open up my cell phone. She knows how to go and find other things. She just doesn't use the same accounts and all the things I use the account of because she does not want to be a Yoko Ono. As I've already also told her, I do not want her to Yoko Ono my work. It's normal. Any couple, any relationship has that. It's about boundaries, and Jake Weddle clearly doesn't have any.
Because, I mean, it's just...
He's certainly not breaking any either, including Hyman's.
Insane. You should never ever do that. You know, if you need someone to manage your emails, like, I don't know if it's the same on Gmail, but there surely is some way that you can give someone access without giving them full account access, right? There is on YouTube. Like, you give people account management access, but you still retain the ultimate control, you know?
No questions, and then you can explain whatever side stuff you want as well. First of all, because somebody in chat
Especially, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do that for someone that I've been with for years, let alone someone I've been with for a few months. I mean, it's totally insane. Like, this is just more information that suggests to me that Jake is just totally and utterly overwhelmed and unable to deal with all of this. So he, you know, Lex presumably was probably asking because they thought that they could latch themselves in and attach themselves, but Jake perceived it as like, oh, don't worry, I'll sort this out for you, I'll take the stress off. Whereas clearly there was a more pernicious intent on her side of doing that, but he didn't perceive that, you know? Partly because he's a spineless little weasel, but also because he probably was just overwhelmed with everything that was happening.
And you mentioned it in Call with Me earlier. The YT drama mod on the Reddit, the fake one.
Same thing happened to Nev, the guy who hosts Catfish. After he was catfished the first time, had the girl manage his Twitter just to use it for clout, send messages to Nev to confirm she yeah. You saw them being deleted in real time. You got catfished twice.
That was her, right?
Sounds about right.
Yes, when the YouTube drama moderators cleared her and said, okay, she wasn't a real live, that was a fake person, and Lex got duped, everybody. And so she's not malicious. He got duped. No, she did in fact think that. That was in fact her messaging herself with another account and then deleting it and then doing some Photoshop on top of that. I was going to keep this part private because I did inform the YouTube drama moderators that they were.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's a lot going. This stream has been pretty crazy for me personally as well, and there's been a lot of crazy drama, but this has been pretty nuts too. This bit's important. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted, because we spoke about it earlier, so I want, there's just some fundamental questions, and then you can explain whatever side stuff you want as well. First of all, because somebody in chat mentions, and you mentioned it in Call with Me earlier, the YT drama mod on the Reddit, the fake one, that was her, right?
Yes, when the YouTube drama moderators cleared her and said, okay, she wasn't a real live, that was a fake person, and Lex got duped, everybody. And so she's not malicious. He got duped. No, she did in fact think that. That was in fact her messaging herself with another account and then deleting it and then doing some Photoshop on top of that.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Child logic vindication. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, look, I find it difficult to take too much joy and pleasure in that, because it was so fucking obvious, bro. We even looked at the dates, and the date that was sent was like the day after that, join my Discord. So it was like, yeah, it seems far more likely that she is responsible for this, rather than some total fucking random loser set this up in order to try and trick this person, to try and trick Lex, but you know. We'll take it. Chum Nation accepts the vindication nonetheless, okay? Now, you know, Jake hasn't, I don't know what proof Jake hasn't provided in this stream later or privately, but I just think that kind of stacks up too nicely for me. I'd be very surprised if that was like a lie. You know, YouTube Drama even posted this update as well, so they've even accepted this as the narrative now. Update to this post. Fake YouTube drama mod who messaged Lex was Lex all along. Jake Weddle confirms this on live stream with Aiden Underground. So yeah. There we go. I mean, they were getting called out by some of the other users saying, well, could this maybe be Lex? And they were kind of dismissive of it. I mean, it was like, come on. Their investigation was flawed because they were trying to disprove, like, they just accepted the idea so quickly that, oh, well, this must have been a random person that set this up, which didn't really make any sense in the first place. Why would someone do that? You know? Oh, I'm going to pretend to be a YouTube drama mod to trick Lex when Lex was in the midst of running gay up using an old fucking account, you know? But yeah, there we go. Take from that what you will.
I was going to keep this part private because I did
Nicholas, Jake Weddle, Queeman, and Tipster starting the British comedian and Faithful to Wife podcast.
Form the YouTube drama moderators that they were in fact duped. But at the time I was going to keep it on private because at the time it wasn't like yesterday, 2 days ago. But I've been terrified because Lex has been threatening me with these recordings behind the scenes.
Why is Queeman in that group? Because Queeman has been identified as a threat to the cabal. Okay, there's a lot of pressure on me at the moment. I'm expected to, you know, pull rank on Queeman, get in his DM and say, Queeman, come on, mate, knock it off. You're getting too close, mate. Just knock it back a bit. We're going to make him control opposition, okay?
You know, I'm not going to ruin your career, don't worry. But I do have these recordings for my protection. And, you know, if I'm all over the place, forgive me. I'm a little distraught that she was blocking people. And I was trying to calm down a little bit, but now I'm a little anxious that she's blocking my stuff.
Yeah, no worries.
So, you know, I mean, there's the problem with this, a lot of this, because everyone here is so smart and clever and brilliant, okay? We all figured this out already, right? All of us have figured this out. But it is nice to get at least some level of confirmation, or at least Jake backing some of this up, because this is something that all of us have kind of thought and looked at with all this story, is just how deranged and, you know, behind a lot of the stuff Lex has been. Well done, guys.
Unfortunate and sad for him, because I only saw a bit of this actually on my end of the timeline. It was really hard to gain confirmation of it, but this girl is certified cuckoo for coconuts.
You get a gold star. Congratulations.
But yeah, so she did get, I informed them about they did get, and I tried to get all the receipts I could. I had receipts that she was, you know, duping Hellbent for a while, which is really funny that she was messaging me like, Hellbent lost my song, haha. I believe you have...
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that right now.
Thank you. That's awesome. So yeah, Lex was with...
She deleted them. Oh, no, she deleted... No, never mind.
She's in my account deleting things.
No. I got that one wrong. Because I thought you had sent that to me. It was actually sent to me by third party, so no, she didn't delete it.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, thank God, that was
yeah, no, all good.
Okay, so yeah,
so far we've established that she is in fact the one that has gotten into your accounts. I can start your mental health, even though that's like totally...
She publicly said that I'm in his accounts right now. Like, she said that on purpose? That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's happening. He's saying you blocked him. Right, okay. Yeah. See. And obviously Cam Nuggets is not going to block Jake Weddle. That would make sense. Okay. I mean, that's She said it. This is confirmed for me. She definitely was doing what's been claimed. She was in there blocking Cam Nuggets and Aiden.
Had a concern for your mental health, even though she was like going and like, even though she was the one that was, releasing recordings of you for the sake of a SoundCloud song. So I guess that would lead me to our next thing.
No. Let me say this right here. I had a panic attack the night she released the song, and she was messaging me. What did she message me? She said, like, Hellbent likes it. Ha 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 ha.
I'm playing like a fiddle. Going to VC with Cam on. Lol, KK baby. Just be careful. So it's like, Jake was permissive of this, right? Jake isn't here going. Okay, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not acceptable. Don't do this weird shit.
The reigning Queen is like trying to get Biden to do so with Netanyahu. We all really know who is in charge.
Very true. Commentary noticer. Very true. Thank you for 333. So it's like, bro, like, just be careful. What about Hellbent getting fucking pressed by this weird shit? So there's got to be some criticism levied there. Even if he's like, well, I was a bit freaked out by her or something. I'd even accept something like that even, but it's like, yeah, that was still a shitty thing to do. Yeah, like you were fine with the behavior when you thought it benefited you.
So yeah, my family was up all night with me on Christmas Eve because I was trying to calm myself down because I was having a full-on panic attack over her, saying Hellbent likes the song, and basically her working with my detractors after she was so publicly like Jake Weddle's #1 supporter, blah blah blah. Like the fact that she did such a rug pull, the circumstances around our breakup, the circumstances around us getting together in the first place, even the methods in which she has these recordings of me that she's using as blackmail, all of it's just wild.
Do you know what's so funny about this though, right? Is look, I'm not going to act like I've not said mean things about Jake Weddle and even said terrible things about Jake Weddle, right? But where is it that he's going to come when he needs to have his name sort of like looked at fairly, when a claim against him needs to be assessed, Like, it's always the people that are willing to look at the commentary people that are willing to give him a fair shake, right? It's the commentary community that are going to look at it and actually give him a fair shake. Do you know what I mean? Hate as much as you want. But when you stand on the pedestal of rape, okay, we're going to be the ones that are actually going to fucking tell it straight and not just go along with some stupid bitch's story.
Yeah, that's...
When you find yourself being cringe on the internet and nobody else wants to listen to you because they consider you to be a completely stupid assmonger, who do you turn to? There is a specialized team of Kakistanians that believe that you should have the right to speak, even if you're being incredibly cringe. If you're lucky, they will come to you, they will find you, and they will laugh at you. They are the commentary community.
As we could.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to get. Listen, if it goes bad, we'll go by smoke signal. If she's not.
That's great. I'll get some pigeons together. We'll figure this out. That's good.
True. All right. So I guess just bring us through the process here of, like, I guess what happened, like the story you told me. I guess if obviously if you're okay sharing about the breakup.
Of course. Yeah. So she was so publicly entrenched in all of my public relations, and at first, it was like, oh, it's nice to have this support. The last relationship I was in, and even like my friends and family, it's kind of difficult to quantify on my age.
Reading straight off the script Nick drafted this morning. Yeah, I got my marching orders earlier from Nicholas. My days routine. What I need to say on stream about all this.
On my backlash, and I was in a really like disruptive my place. So when Lex showed up in my life, it was like, oh, here's the support from like another content creator. I was also at Mike's place, and like me and Lex have dated for 3 months.
This is a group stream too. Why are you so obsessed about politicizing everything? We just talk about drama, okay? You asked me earlier about what I think about the Indian immigration thing. Well, I'm from the UK, so what do you think?
And she was, we've been physically together, like, in the same, state for like a month. We were doing a long distance thing for a while, and the way she thrust herself into the public eye, Jake Weddle and his girlfriend, like. I didn't think anything of it until it got crazier, and then she started like calling out Chud Logic and Hellbent by name. It was entirely her idea to sue Hellbent, by the way. I feel like I was upset that Hellbent did all that stuff.
It's kind of, you presume that people know about you because you have coverage of them, and you get confirmed, you're like, yeah, of course he knows who I am. Of course he knows who I am. I've been watching you, motherfucker, of course you can see me watching you. I mean, to be fair, I think that's probably true. I think that her posting the picture of them together likely was her doing. I don't think he was saying, put a picture of us up to show that we're happy together. I could easily imagine that being her.
Fun stream today. Buy yourself a meal. A succulent Chinese.
Thank you, the super chat, appreciate it.
I was editing my special, and I saw that Hellbent did all that shit, and I was upset, and then I woke up the next day, and I see on Twitter, I go, oh, I guess we're suing Hellbent. Okay. The things that she pushed me to do while we were together.
I mean, you're in the driving seat. It's your channel. You're in the driving seat. You get to decide. So you still have overarching responsibility for that having occurred, right? Because you could have shut that shit down if you wanted to, or you could at least provide messages that show you saying, no, I'm not going to do that. But in fact, there's the opposite. There's a message of you saying what you wanted to happen with the video, so that Lex could send that to Hellbent. So there's a culpability here that I feel like he's trying to swerve around here.
Together. Like, for instance, I do have a lawyer. And it's really funny that I have a lawyer, because Lex is the one that told me to get that lawyer. And I feel like Lex, my lawyer, because I paid for the lawyer, wouldn't think that being logged into somebody's discords and blocking them with other, I feel like Lex is breaking crimes right now, but I guess I'll talk to my lawyer as soon as I can. Thanks, Lex, for making sure I got a lawyer.
The way that he talks in the sentence, and the way that he structures everything he wants to say, is exactly how he talks on the stage. This motherfucker is frantic incarnate. I swear to God, bro, calm down. Yes, she's rooting through your shit. Yes, that's horrible. At least people are on your side. It's not that bad. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down.
So she was the one who suggested you take legal action against Hellbent, and she suggested you take legal action against Mr. Peace.
Behind the scenes, we were like trying to. I shouldn't be thinking about this publicly because this is like a legal thing and it's messy and it's dicey. But yeah, she was like saying, like, I don't want to get into the weeds of whether or not I do or don't have a case or whether or not I am or not pursuing a case. But I will say, behind the scenes, she was very much pushing me to sue Jimmy, and what I think is now that I have all the pieces, but I'm pretty sure, and this was obvious to everybody outside of my bubble, and I kind of wish it was more obvious to me. But hey, I'm a gullible person. I get tricked very easily by pretty women. I'm pretty sure she jumped into my life to thrust herself into Mr. B stuff and to get a little bit of my clout to get a little. And that's so funny because everyone's calling me.
Okay, guys, look, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Okay, come on.
Cloud chaser. So the cloud chaser of a cloud chaser is really funny.
All that's telling us is Jake's got low standards. All right.
I make money off depressed people. I've never seen a more Jewish woman.
Thank you for the super chats.
Again, hey, fellas, listen, you milk me for all I'm worth. Okay, women moving forward. I have no more money. Please stay away from me. I spent it all on flights to Canada and flying her to the U.S. and getting her hair done and the lawyer she made me buy. The money's gone. So please, women, stay away from me.
Okay, hang on a sec. So, where is this money coming from then? So, you had this 50k, you said it was more like 30k because of taxes, and you needed that to get back to zero. And then later on you said, oh no, I bought streaming equipment with some of the blood money. But now apparently there was further funds with which to lavish money for hair and flights on this woman. Is it the comedy show? Like, where are you getting all this fucking money from? I can't imagine this from the comedy shows, and I can see your fucking YouTube viewership. I don't know how much...
I can't see it coming from the comedy shows, bro. I'm gonna be 100% dead ass with your blood. I don't fucking see it. I don't believe it. You're gonna have to produce something. You have to show me something. I'm gonna need a tax write-off, something. Head up the IR fucking S, because there's no fucking way this man is making enough to give a modern woman hair care treatments on the fucking money that he could or should be making. No world. Hard believe. Hard believe. It's just me. Maybe I'm wrong in saying it, but it's just me. I don't see it.
How much money you make on Patreon. So I'm a bit like, okay, well, where's the money coming from? I just think this links back to his, you know, kind of fluid financial situation that endlessly is just whatever he needs to say it is at the time. That being said, I mean, that's a personal interest to me as a detractor, if you like, right? But, you know, Aiden, I think, is coming at this from a different angle. I don't think he needs to drill into this. You know, this could create kind of an awkward moment. Really, it's about talking about this other issue. But for me, I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on with these finances then? You know, who the fuck is your accountant?
and that's actually, about Mr. B stuff, that's actually how the two of you met, right?
Yeah, so she basically slid into my DMs because she was trying to give me...
I think Aiden is just incapable, for a certain reason, of digging into someone's, you know, possible illicit accounting practices. I think he's just trying to swerve around that, you know? If you know what I mean.
Her, you know, like, big scoop on the whole street situation, which was up in Canada. And I don't really know all the details of it specifically because I'm not super well versed in union law, especially in Canada. At least I'm familiar with writer's guild stuff, but not so much like, you know, like editing and actors and that's not deals I'm familiar with. That's not things I'm familiar with. But he was claiming that Jimmy was hiring union workers, even though he's barred from working with unions.
There is a buzzing sound that's behind the audio there that sounds like an alarm beeping frantically. There's nothing I can do about that, but I hear it, and it's annoying the piss out of me. So if it's annoying anybody else, it is not your audio, it's not my audio, it's his audio.
Unions. And I remember one of the YouTube channel moderators was just correcting her, saying that's not how the unions work. And you know, behind the scenes, Lex was telling me, do not trust that moderator. He's not on our side, he's against us. And I you know, I don't want to publicly say any YouTube drama moderators are very...
Yeah, I agree. I feel like accounting stuff is secondary to the beef of the drama, this particular drama, sure. Drilling into that will make Jake less comfortable, talk about the Lex and the relationship. I completely 100% agree. And also, that's been kind of done to death at this point, right? Like, we've already established there's plenty of, like, you know, mainline Mr. Beast analysis. Jake Weddle said he was war crimed, his financial situation is fluid, you know, all of that's been litigated to death at this point. So I think just focusing on this particular drama is totally reasonable from Aiden, you know? But obviously, you could go down loads of rabbit holes if you wanted to with Jake, but I think Aiden's got his eyes on the prize.
Very good at being unbiased, for example, when it comes to Mr. Beast's misinformation, because, yeah, like, some shit is off the walls and crazy. Like, you don't want to throw wild accusations out. Like, they were correcting misinformation about Mr. Beast. So you can't say they're for or against Mr. Beast, you can't say they're for or against me. But yeah, they did tell me.
That being said, I think Aiden would have done well here to go, listen, Jake, you know, we can agree to disagree on some of the Mr. Beast stuff. You know, I'm not looking to get into all of that, and you could just move him along to obviously get to the more relevant stuff, right? Because I'm a bit like, on the one hand, I don't think you need to get into it, but on the other, I don't really want to hear all the fucking ins and outs of all the Mr. Beast shit again. Like, but there is a little bit in there, you know, this claim that apparently Lex was trying to act like this moderator that had a disagreement was super adversarial to them. You know, I could definitely imagine circumstances where Lex is trying to, like, partition off Jake. You know, like, to me, I don't want to use too strong words, but I feel like there is some sort of abusive behaviour being exhibited in regards from Lex here, right? It's like, if this is true, obviously I don't know what isn't true, but like this idea of like partitioning off from certain people, holding this in over him, if you don't do this, extorting him or blackmailing him with this recording that she's got, you know, it's, yeah, pretty fucked up shit.
Spreading a bunch of misinformation.
8 gang represent, okay?
And I told them, yeah, behind the scenes, she was telling me not to trust you guys for that very reason. So this whole situation is incredibly messy. And I just, if I can again, apologize to the YouTube community and apologize to the Reddit community for allowing this person to thrust herself into the spotlight so brazenly and so messily. That is entirely on me, and I publicly apologize.
If you had sexual discipline, that wouldn't be a fucking problem, because you would have seen her as a clout chaser before anything happened, but you didn't. And so here we are.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, yeah, okay. That's actually pretty reasonable aspect there from Jake. Yeah, okay. Okay.
At least for a minute. Yeah, there's some things obviously I would push back. If I do have any questions, I'll say that at the end. I'll say that at the end because this story is like, and obviously you don't need to tell me exactly what you said in call. I'll let you lead your own discretion. But this is such an insane story.
You know, it's so funny. Because I did talk about Jake again on Christmas Eve because of this crazy Instagram post he put out moaning again, right? But I'm pretty sure I didn't just think this, I did say it. But I was, you know, it was at the point where I'm like, God, this guy just cannot ignore this. And it's like, at some point, you just got to cut it off because he'll just endlessly respond if you keep talking about him. It's like an endless loop. And it was, you know, for me, before any of this happened, that was the last time I was really thinking about talking about the guy. Because it just felt like it would constantly be this endless loop. He gets spoken about, he responds. And there's nothing more to say. Everything has been, you know. Yeah, you said, maybe I should stop covering him. Well, yeah, because it's like, clearly he's got no self-control. And I've said everything I've got to say about the guy. But yeah, I did go a bit, I went into it all, obviously. But, and then I listened to this and I'm just like, yeah, this guy, he's never going to be able to handle it. You know what I mean? It's up to him to nut up and fucking, move forward, be able to accept this, be able to take the shit. He needs to deal with his own fucking mental to be able to do that, Like, it's on him, inevitably. But he clearly, he kind of needs at the moment people to stop talking about him because he can't do that himself.
Right, that I just walk me through Monday and the 5 days leading up to Monday and the breakup.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So, publicly, Lex was very like, I'm gonna call out Hellbent, I'm gonna call out Nicholas Fiore, I'm gonna call out Chad Logic, and like behind the scenes, like the hashtag campaigns that were, like my mom's getting harassed, it's been mentally taxing on somebody who especially isn't a chronically online person. I stand up, I'm not as entrenched into the YouTube world, and I'm barely on Reddit. I've been on Reddit more in the last 4 days than I have in my entire life. But when all the ways that she was calling people out started backfiring,
you casually admitted that you're a fucking Redditor. Cringe!
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you've got to be reasonable about these things. And it's like, it would be a bit rich for me to sit here and have made the content I've made about Jake, including, the Free Nathan Weddle stuff and joking and memeing about that. Like, I get that that's probably bothersome to him. It's like, yeah, I get it, you know what I mean? I get it. But then it's up to him to ignore it, right? It's up to him to ignore it. This conversation isn't really about that, but I completely understand that, yeah, of course, this stuff's going to come up. The stuff with his mother, I don't know how his mother is, well, what I would say about the mother part is she with her actual name, has been commenting on his YouTube content, okay? And I think that, that's something that he needs to recognise. People are going to put two and two together. And although I would obviously say that it's wrong to reach out to his mother, some people are going to take it too far and do that. So out of an abundance of caution, you're better off just saying to Mumsy, look, if you've got anything to say about my content, just talk to me directly. People are fucking insane on the internet, and if you post stuff, they'll message you, That's what I've said to my family. I've said, don't put stuff on Facebook about me, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Just to be on the safe side, just to be 100% on the safe side with it. Like, you don't need Mumsy publicly commenting on your posts. If they've got something to say to you, they can just message you about it, So, yeah, especially when you're, going up against Mr. Beast and you're getting into big drama and so on.
she would kind of okay. We never really fought much. We had two big-ish fights, and this was one of them obviously, where he basically being really distant from me all of a sudden. It was right after all the Hellbent and Chad Logic stuff started backfiring on her, and she was taking my space, so I didn't really it felt distant.
Backfire.
And then one day, we wake up in the morning. She still working as my assistant. So wake up in the morning, we had a meeting with somebody, and then take a nap after that. It was an early meeting, and then I saw that Pretty Palm made some. I think these people's names are so fucking silly. I saw that.
I mean, I only spoke about stuff that was happening as it was ongoing, particularly when it included and involved me and my Discord and stuff like that. I do. I'm innocent, okay? The only person guilty, well, okay, arguably there was some role, but it was meant to happen. If anything, right, all the videos about this have only helped Jake Weddle out, to be perfectly honest with you. Home wrecking for good.
True, he's not even a turkey.
But so I remember I just posted something I thought was pretty innocuous on my Instagram stories talking about
innocuous.
Yeah, because I lost it, right? So I thought it was shitty that people make content calling other people's mental health into question. Because in my head, I don't think I lost it.
I rape, but I save.
Now this guy made a bunch of money, then why do I want to get the turkey topic? I don't give a fuck about turkey topic. That's fine. But I made a post. I called YouTube commentary channels generally dorks. I said, you guys, that's pretty tame, I didn't call anybody out by name specifically. Meanwhile, Lex was like, hey, Hellbent, hey, she's calling out by name specifically. And I remember I had a panic attack that night too, because I'm like, oh my god, she's literally asking for it. She's like, oh, she's bringing it on purpose, And so when I posted that Instagram story, she said, take that Instagram story down. And I was like, what? Why? And she goes,
I mean, I think that Jake is downplaying his post here, right? If you look at the post, it's quite clear he was freaking out and going at people and stuff like that. I don't really care that much. Obviously people are talking shit about you, talking shit back. But it's this I was only calling them dorks. I mean, you were, obviously trying to be mean to them in your own little wretched way,
affects me too. And in my head, I'm like, but you were doing all this other, so brazenly, and this is funny. Somebody said, why doesn't he reel her in? I saw that comment below. Fellas, that was her reeled in. I was reeling her in, I swear to God. But when I stopped her while she was filming and said, look, H3, I said my stand-up's not that bad. That was me trying to derail her from her train of thought. I was like, please stop talking about this, something else instead. So when she's telling me to take it down, I'm not taking anything of it. I'm just thinking, I can't, I'm not going to tell her not to post something, right? I didn't say don't post that video. I didn't say don't make that tweet. I didn't say don't go after Hellbent. I said you're your own person. I can't stop you from doing something. I can't control you.
What? No. Right, if you're in any sort of relationship with someone and you're any sort of public figure, right? I mean, to a degree that's true, but when it starts to interact and interfere with you, you're totally in your right to say, well, don't do that. If you want to talk about something, but don't do that, right? Don't go and make a video, talk about this. Don't go do this. Don't go do this. It's totally reasonable that you interject and say, well, no, this is now my toes that you're stepping on, Would you accept a woman coming to your office and calling out people in the office and calling them this, that, the other? You'd be like, well, no, you got a Christmas party or something. It's like, you've got to fucking rein it in and act kind of normal. Even if you like someone, just grin and bear it, because it's my stuff that you're messing with then. You've got to draw a line somewhere. Yeah, you can't just have someone completely run roughshod over it. Oh, hey, Willie Mac. Oh, no, I'm botted. It's not me. Hands up. I'm not doing it. Nothing to do with me. Randomly, I'm getting botted down the stream. Earlier, people were leaving default botty weird comments. I don't know what's going on.
But then she goes, take your story down. And I go, what? Let me take my story down. Then she goes, all right, well then, I guess I'll pay for half your hotel tonight. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I don't want you here. I don't feel comfortable with you here because you're going to my feelings. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So
another thing to bear in mind with this, to be absolutely fair, is we're only getting Jake's side of it. Of course, Lex is going to have her own story to tell with this and her own aspect. Okay, but I mean, her behaviour. He's not providing any evidence of this. Some of this is in-person conversation. But the unfortunate reality is all of her behaviour points to her being this deranged freak. And I would say that I'm willing to go with Jake probably 60 to 70% on this stuff, purely off the back of her behaviour that she's exhibited.
I was upset. Of course. I was confused. I was so heartbroken that you're kicking me out of. I'm in a foreign country, and you're kicking me out of your house. And she's like, I'm saying I'll pay for half your hotel. And it's it just seemed so ridiculous. And then, I was upset. I was alternating between being angry and being sad. When you're in a relationship, it's emotionally tenuous. But there's no level. So I'm packing my stuff. I'm crying. You guys know me. I'm crying. And she says, better hurry because I'm gonna call the police. And I'm like, I'm packing. I'm looking for my camera, put my stuff together.
$200 story's fake. Foreign showed me. I only sent him $20 yesterday. Where did the $200 come from? Wasn't that you that said that yourself, though? Where did that come from? Anyway, yeah, Farron's back sniffing around apparently.
And then the police were there. And I was like, what? And at first, the cops do the thing where they're like, hey, you're the guy, we gotta get out of here. And then after 5 seconds of talking to him, they're like, oh, yeah, you're
That's it, I'm signing with Muta, of course. Willie Mack, one of the sleeper agents of the big commentary cabal, signing with the million plus sub YouTuber. Very typical behavior from Willie Mack there.
Like, at one point, I heard the police in the room that she was in say, he's literally texting me right now. And I'm outside talking to the cops, and the other officer goes, ma'am, he's outside talking to the other officer, and his phone's right there.
So she's accusing you of texting her in the moment you're outside talking to another officer, and your phone is in clear sight, not on your person. All allegedly, by the way. I can't confirm this.
Allegedly, of course. I don't have proof of that. This is hearsay, obviously. I'm just colloquially telling you all what happened from my perspective, my opinion, obviously. If she's gonna say things like I punch a wall, that's not true. This is what I'll say. And he was filming me unbeknownst to me, which is something she swore she said she'd never.
Well, I'm holding judgment for Aiden because he said he's going to ask questions later. He's just like kind of letting him tell a story, which I don't have a problem with necessarily. I guess my concern is he's not really like how is he going to like maybe this is a bit of a because I don't always take notes. Okay, I'm not a note taker myself, but I feel like when the stakes are this high, I don't know like how's he going to know what to press on? We'll see when we get to it. But
here's a question: why weren't you recording yourself with your phone as this was happening? You didn't think about it the entire time? Just oh my god, I'm blindsided. I can't believe. So that when you get talked to by the officer and you're recording yourself with them, ensuring not to record them, and she accuses of these things, that they can clearly see that you don't have the phone out to record her because you're actively talking to them? It didn't occur? Okay. I guess that makes sense. That is in fact something that would be said and or would happen and or would be considered, I suppose. Taking evidence? What's that? Why would I collect evidence? Who is this? Not Chud the other guy. Jake Weddle. Welcome back, Just a Girl.
if he's letting him tell a story, that's fine, but there's obviously points of contention which are worth bringing up for this drama. Like, the fact is, although he has apologised for letting her, for letting her get so brazen, etc., it's like, he is, I feel, downplaying his own role in this. Like, he's not some fucking, put upon, like, he's got some free will with which to engage in certain behaviour to stop this from happening, The fact that he was happy with the behaviour when he was benefiting from it, and so on and so on and so on. So I guess we'll see. What he says to this. But, yeah, it's a bit like, obviously Jake is telling it to present his best side of the story, and there's probably little things to go at here.
Because I've had exes do that in the past. I had mental breakdowns when I was in solitary confinement while there were 7 cameras on me. So I get really, really sensitive to people filming me without my consent when I'm in a vulnerable position. And this is something she explicitly knew, and we talked about often. So when she's got cameras all over her house, she's filming me with her phone. She's telling me she's got witnesses on her Discord, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to post any of this, but I do have it for my safety, like my protection." And if we're going to talk about what's helpful for my mental health, don't post those, or maybe even delete those, because those were private and vulnerable, and it's sad when you're
became a member.
Hey, Nicholas.
Video celebrates 10 months of membership. We have Chud Logic interviewing Lex and Nick interviewing Jake Weddle at home.
Thank you, Nicholas, for the membership. Appreciate it. By the way, DM me and tell me what to do about this fucking botting. You've had to deal with it. I don't know what the fuck to do. Just to be clear, it's not me, nothing to do with me, okay? Some freak is trying to take me down, presumably.
To me,
Lyrics already pushed him on that. I'm not going to interrupt the interview for that.
I should not post things about to free Nathan Weddle for some TJD. Let's hashtag Big Jake Weddle.
Thank you, Lex Weddle, for the 333. Why did he need to get dude? I mean, he's right, it's fair to say that. But yeah, I mean, don't let him get away with that. I mean, it's like, you really want to have another fucking endless litigation of the solitary confinement stuff. That was you. Three-toe Polly! You wanted to hear another fucking 5-10 minutes debate about whether or not he was in solitary confinement. Damn, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of done with it. I think it's been litigated enough. But yeah, I do think it becomes a problem when you're looking for, and I'm probably guilty of this myself, to be fair, so, I say that with knowing that I engage in it sometimes, but endlessly looking for any point of contention to dig into to be a problem. I don't know. You need to find the right balance, My problem here is it's too much. I think, unless you really push us hard at the end, it's like, there's probably points at which you could just interject and go, right, I want, let me talk about this particular claim, and you could hash it out a bit there,
About me, could you not tell everybody I'm abusive? Because the behavior exhibited in this moment even. Like in this moment right here. I wasn't going to talk about you logging all my accounts because I didn't know you were. So I can't believe there's new developments happening in real time. Like, this is wild.
That's insane, yeah. And so just to clarify for everybody, in one day, on Monday, you go from being cool to you make an Instagram. Yeah, so you make an Instagram story post. She thinks it's not.
Half the people who say X guy did an awful job and shit their pants of established comedian Jake Weddle shook their hand. Well, the funny thing about it, if you think about it, and I've always said this about the internet shit, is like, you probably have a beer with most people on the internet, Like if you were to meet someone, you probably be able to have a beer and just chat about shit and it'd be fine. But obviously it's all hyper antagonistic fucking argument content shit, isn't it? You would not. Yeah, but that would only be a failing on your part, I would say. Right? Most of us are social creatures, right? And we would want to try and break bread in that situation. But yeah, in any case, I mean, we'll see what Aiden does later.
Good luck. You refuse to take it down. She takes that personally, breaks up with her.
It's not like I refuse to take it down. We had like 2 Instagram exchange texts back and forth.
When the curly hair beady-eyed boy is on screen, it's a good one.
Thank you for the super chat.
Person, baby bottle, woman breastfeeding.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Christmas normally people are with their families, so there isn't like loads of stuff going on. However, this has been like a great drama, like a real saving grace. So, thanks to all involved. Thanks primarily to Jake and Lex having a crash out breakup. It's been great.
And she goes, all right, well, you go ahead to the hotel. And I'm like, what? Yeah, so it wasn't like, I was like, no, I'm not taking it down. I was just like 2 conversations back and forth. Yeah.
So she tells you to leave while you're visiting her home in Canada, a country you're not from, done citizenship or whatever. She tells you to leave, and you're out of the house, trying to leave Canada in the same day.
I will say, she said, hey, you can look back at the texts. I said, I'll pay for half your hotel. And I said to her, how litigious of you to say. Like she got distant. I think what the mindset was, this I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but she's in a legal battle right now with the landlords. And I was in a domestic violence situation I don't want to get too much into the weeds either, but when I was in a domestic violence situation, I had a partner of mine assault me physically. I was.
Well, at least he wasn't lying when he was on stage. He is the woman in every relationship that he's involved in. And he is the lipstick lesbian.
It's that meme again, isn't it? Here's some embarrassing information about me. Please don't bully me. Oh.
Punched, kicks, jokes, rudes. I don't want to get too much into that, but that was helpful when those landlords tried to evict me. And I said, oh, you don't have to evict me. I fled New York City because I didn't want to be in New York City anymore because it was unsafe for me to be there. And that got me out of my lease eventually. And so, it's alleged when I say this, but I think, allegedly, in my opinion, when Lex realized that she could no longer bill to me for more clout or more money,
Where was Dave Batman?
Current living situation that was almost up. I think she thought, okay, I'll two birds, one stone this. I'll do this thing called reactive abuse. And what reactive abuse is, I had to be very familiar with this because I keep dating the same type of woman.
Do you really have to explain to him what reactive abuse is to explain how you got finessed by a crazy bitch? Is that really something? Logistically crazy. Twitch. Do not strike me, Twitch. Logistically. Is it possible? Is it really necessary and possible that there wasn't another way for you to go about doing this? I'm just saying.
Oh god, he's using all the gay therapy terminology too. Oh no. He's using all the fucking gay therapy shit. No, it's so overdue. What are we doing to men? The male therapy should be explaining the best self-defense moves against a woman, okay? Enough about this reactive abuse, right? Proactive violence against an intimate partner before they can hurt you. That's what we need to be teaching men. Especially men like Jake Weddle.
Really rile somebody up to the point to where they can't take it anymore, and then when they finally show the emotions that they've that you've been poking at constantly, they blow up, and then they go click, screenshot, and then they show everybody. See, isn't he crazy? For the purpose of discrediting them.
This is a thing, by the way. This is true, and I think this is likely something that Amaranth was getting involved in. Remember when she was crying and acted like I was totally unreasonable? But a woman will, engage in behaviour that is egregious, and then catch you as you react to that, and you look like the bad guy, right? And I think, spoiler alert, the recording is fucking nothing, but I think that is the attempt that was made in regards to this recording. It was almost trying to catch Jake at a bad moment to make it look like he's a terrible human being. When, as far as I've heard of the recording so far, I've listened to a couple of minutes, he was just getting kind of agitated and frustrated in the course of a breakup, and at worst maybe raising his voice or something. That's it,
And so I think one of the things is I know exactly what your triggers are, so I know how to get you upset. I'm going to kick you out of my house police. That's going to be blackmail, so you don't ever talk about me. And I'll also be able to use that in a case against my landlords. That's what I think. Allegedly speculation, I don't know.
Yeah, and just to clarify for everybody, normally there's a fee for breaking a lease, but in the States, and I don't know if it's the same in Canada, I'm assuming it is, there's a stipulation that if you can prove there was like a situation of domestic violence occurring in your home, I'm pretty sure the landlord lets you break the lease for free, or legally is bound to.
Damn, of course. Aiden knows all about that, doesn't he?
Preemptively hurt a bitch. You feel me, Jake?
True, AJ Simpson. Thank you for the tip. Dude. Yeah, so let me tell you all about how landlordism works. Let me tell you about the perfect intersection of my knowledge. Landlordism and the law, right up my street.
Obviously, he's alleging that in the circumstance. I'm not familiar with Canadian law.
I was acting as my assistant because I was living with a partner. I used to date me and broke up, but we were still living together because I didn't want to kick. That's so funny. I was living with an ex when I met Lex because I didn't want to kick my ex out on the street. So when I came back to New York with the new GF, she'd been like that. She started hitting me, but regardless, I still didn't kick her out, right? But that's why I got punched. But that's also why I was able to get out of my lease because there was a domestic violence situation in my house, and Lex was acting as my assistant when she was arguing with my landlords back and forth. So I think she went, oh well, if this got Jake out of his lease, maybe get me out of mine. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm just maybe thinking, assuming. Possibly. I mean, this is what I was talking about with my friends on Discord for the past couple of days, and then clearly she didn't want me to come on this chat right now. So you've seen all my correspondence for the last 4 days, and that makes my skin crawl, honestly. So my hunch is correct. Lex, I guess you're on a straight.
That's 12,000 viewers. Bro, this is so stupid.
I just want to mention, or I guess the hold on. The other question I wanted to ask too is in regards to her history. You had actually, she has a dedicated hater base according to her, and you had actually received that you had sent to me onto the stipulation I could share. While you were with Lex, you had been sent some sort of email warning you about her from a member of the public or.
I think a name, like a different email. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I showed it to Lex at the time. Every time anybody was ever weary of her, she told me not to trust them.
I'm sorry to send this sort of message. Please take it seriously. I'm only trying to help you avoid future hassles, problems with dealing with Lex. She has lied, slandered, and legitimately scammed multiple locals in Victoria while playing the victim card. I won't name names, but there's a very real reason she doesn't want to be involved with the local car community or people in general. It's because she's burned every person she's come in contact with, including those who wanted to help her. Please use caution when allowing her into your life. She doesn't do the same to you. I mean, woke is, this is a random member of the public warning Jake Weddle. Woke is, this is Lex herself as some sort of weird loyalty test or something. I don't know, bro. I got an email about Lex from someone in the local community, and I wondered after, because I just ignored it. I was like, this is a bit weird. I don't know what's going on here. I ignored it. With everything that spun out, I'm like, was that Lex as well? Like, she was operating multiple accounts at any one time, so it's very difficult to really pin down exactly who is and isn't Lex,
And that's, crazy. But I remember when I saw this email, I brushed it off as, oh, I got online haters, and she's got online haters, and blah, blah, blah. She's like, they don't want to see me happy, with this new man, blah, blah, blah. And basically, the body of the email, I believe I have that as well.
Yeah,
is, hey, this is what she does. She does this to everybody. You seem like a nice guy. Please just protect yourself, because this is what she does. So, let me tell you, I feel like a big old dummy because not only is this very publicly embarrassing for me, but fool me once, twice, three times, I'm not going to date for another year. Hey, audience, hey, stream, if you guys see me with a new girlfriend, do a wellness check on me, okay? No, not.
I say we give Jake Weddle free reign to engage in whatever physical violence he deems necessary against his next intimate partner. I feel that's an appropriate allowance, and the authorities in the local area should be told that the next relationship, he gets like, you got a portion out, I guess, but he gets like at least a few egregious severe beatings, potential hospitalizations, and then,
he can have a domestic violence dispute as a treat. He doesn't deserve one after that shitty ass fucking special we just witnessed, but he can have a fun crash out as a treat. That was a lot of juice that just fell on the ground.
A sort of reasonable amount of lesser sort of violence than that, and then like a slap across the face or something is just completely the other way on, and that's totally permissible. Something like that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the scale we want to deal with.
25, you understand?
Based.
He's allowed. He's earned it.
Very, very based. Now, I guess I want to ask you here as well. After your
Samuel, thank you for £2. I don't think it's real. I'm pretty sure it's spotted viewers. I'm like 99% sure, but I appreciate the support nonetheless.
Leah Something became a member. Leah Something celebrates 3 months of membership. Jake Weedle and Kinetic Kel should date.
Thank you for the membership, Leah Something. Obviously people in chat saying it's real. Obviously, I allow people to make their own mind up.
Girlfriend had told you that on your behalf, she was like threatening smaller creators and like making alts to pressure them.
Yes.
At that point in time, like I feel like I would have said, like, dude, this bitch is fucking crazy. Let me run for the hills. What was your mindset at that point?
I think what was going through my head was she's doing it to protect me, and at the time I was in a mental state where I felt like, because the way that like the people like the online vitriol, part of it is, and again, the way you pacify somebody in this situation is to put them in a character state, and there were so many.
1 second, this should be her. Yes. Yeah. I know, the chat knows. I know, the chat knows. No, you can go. Okay. Well, unfortunately, chat, she is on her way. So we have a limited amount of time before she pulls up. Where's my shoes? But I think that gets across the point of exactly what happened here. Man says to the internet, you guys are mad at me. How dare you hate people? You just hated to hear what he's down. Records a really bad special. Really bad humor. And then everything that happens to him afterwards is the result of someone... What the fuck? Come on, stream. There we go. Disconnected there for a second. Talk shit about people on the internet. Act smug. The universe gives him a giant piece of humble pie and says, hold all this embarrassment. Honestly, that's crazy work, God. God, that's crazy work. That's crazy work. Crazy levels of work. But that's basically Jake Weddle in a nutshell. She is on her way. And because it's a time crunch, because I don't want to waste any of her time on her lunch break, I'm going to cut the stream here. But I will be back later. Probably not on the same topics, but I will be working this character because now this fucking the Chaos Taco Bell monk is getting somewhere. I've juiced him with enough fucking Mountain Dew blue voltage to get him up and going. So we're gonna see where the fuck this experiment goes. It's working out great. If it works out as well as I want it to, it's going to become the basis of an experiment. And that experiment will then be put forward in a build video. Because I think I finally figured out my defensive tech. Still, I will see you all. Same Carl time. Same Carl channel. Don't bust that nut yet. I will be back. I will be back.